We're going to go to Jason, see if we can get an answer. Hey, Jason, good morning.
Good morning, Mary Gadzooks.
Mary Gadzooks to you, sir. All right, Jason, what is the U.S. city mentioned in the first line of Turn the Page?
The mysterious village found east of Omaha.
Omaha. Yeah. You got it, buddy. Hang on. Jason, we are going to give you a Hand and Stone gift card good for free massage or facial. You can deck the halls at Hand and Stone Massage Facial Spa. You can buy a spa package and get a free massage or facial gift card and visit any of their 60 area locations or search for the location nearest you to view their exclusive online offers. Restrictions apply. Here we go. Hold on. Where? East of Omaha. And there it is.
Is that a bald woman or a bald man?
That's an ugly woman in shorts.
Big, ugly
Bald,
woman
ugly
in shorts.
All right. I got some stories to run by you. The legal battle between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard appears to be over. Word came down yesterday.
Nothing's over!
Heard shared a post to Instagram announcing that she had made the very difficult decision to settle.
Nothing is over! I think it's a smart decision.
Oh, just end
Wrap it up.
End it, yeah.
Nothing's over!
Better than that.
It's...
Man, approach the bench.
Oh, my God, that's right. I forgot he's their lawyer.
Is my zipper down?
It's
Well, why don't you look?
That's what you came over to ask the judge about?
I have to go pee-pee really bad.
So she had said, it is important for me to say that I never chose this. She wrote this in the statement. I defended my truth. In doing so, my life as I knew it was destroyed. The vilification I have faced on social media is an amplified version of the ways women are re-victimized when they come forward. She said, now I find, what?
Well, so you can't say I defended my truth. I feel like your words are very important here, and you got to say I defended the truth.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, sorry.
She said, now I finally have an opportunity to emancipate myself from something I attempted to leave over 6 years ago and on terms I can agree to. I've made no admission. This is not an act of concession. There are no restrictions or gags with respect to my voice moving forward.
Habeas corpus.
A source close to Johnny said it's a 7-figure settlement. The judgment is in place, but part of the point of appealing it for her was both the financial reasons, but also to ensure that there wasn't a judgment in place against her that has significant ramifications.
Clean this off the table. Let everything sit for a little while. You know how these things cycle. She can come back and it'll be over.
Yeah.
Because it is over.
Nothing's over. The judgment
Nothing is over. It's over.
is never. This one's over.
This one's over.
The judgment is never going away. Depp has said that it wasn't about money. He just wanted the truth, apparently.
Yeah.
Now, if Johnny, and what'll be smart for him to do is take that settlement and publicly donate it.
That would be the way to go.
And say, I didn't want this money at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll see if that ends up happening or not. A known burglar broke into Robert De Niro's Upper East Side townhouse yesterday while the casino actor and his daughter were home.
That's a home invasion.
Yeah,
What the hell are you doing?
Law enforcement officials told the New York Post that she was stealing Christmas presents and playing with his iPad.
Oh, my God.
You sick son of a bitch.
Yeah. The burglary
Those Angry Birds.
occurred approximately at 2:30 a.m. when police spotted
You playing with my Angry Birds?
30-year-old Shanice Avils trying to enter commercial buildings before making her way into De Niro's home.
What the hell are you doing?
The good fellas,
She had a criminal record of breaking into high, to wealthier homes and condos.
Oh, really?
Yes, that apparently was her MO.
The Goodfellas actor and his daughter were unaware of what was going on at the time. Prior to the arrest, Avils had been picked up for 7 other burglaries.
You blew it.
That took place on the Upper East Side. Is that a kind of a ritzy area? Upper East Side?
Yeah, absolutely. So De Niro lately, the times I've seen him, I guess he's looking a little shriveled. He's looking.
Well, I mean, how old is he?
He's older.
In his 80s?
79.
He's so memorialized in, frozen in time in these roles that we know him from, That it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah, he's an old man. He's 80 or 79. He's
You're a mess.
Right on the edge of it.
You look horrible.
Yeah. Stallone, on the other hand, Stallone's had some work done.
He clearly has.
You can see his eyebrows line. I was looking
Way
at a
up.
picture of him yesterday, and
Yeah.
it's like way up.
When he
high.
raises his eyebrows, one of his ears bends over.
Oh, does
That is the way I rigged it.
cut me, Mickey. Yeah. So anyhow, this woman had been busted. She had apparently been hitting the Upper East Side between November 25th and December 8th of this year. So
Who is Charlie?
got
Where
him.
is he?
yeah,
Is this Charlie?
Where's the chocolate factory?
he doesn't really know where he is. You know.
He's old.
All right. Another big thing happened. The jury in Los Angeles found Harvey Weinstein guilty of rape on Monday after 9 days of deliberation.
Man, what a collection of guilty verdicts he's accruing.
Oh, yeah. This is his second criminal trial, and he is currently 2 years into a 23-year sentence for rape and sexual assault conviction in New York. He was found guilty of 3 charges related to an accuser known as Jane Doe 1, but the jury was unable to reach a verdict regarding allegations by his other accusers, including Jennifer Siebel Newsom, the wife of California Governor Gavin Newsom. So it's pretty wild, man. I think that this guy went from the top of the top. He's sitting in a jail cell, and he had been getting away with stuff for a long time, the rumor was.
So the story was, if you wanted to win an Oscar, you would get with Miramax, and they would work it for you.
Right.
However, part of that story was if you were an actress, you probably had to do something sexual for Harvey Weinstein, or you would be propositioned to do something for Weinstein.
Usually involve farting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like a good fart. I like ribs and I like farts.
He was into that.
I want to fart in your face.
Well, at least we made that up, but
Put your hand under my robe like a Civil War camera. No fart in your face.
He farted in my face.
Did you, bitch?
And who was that?
Come back over here.
Oh, God.
He farted in my face.
It was the Queen.
No, it was an older actress talking about some other.
yeah, she was, I forgot who she was talking about.
It wasn't Weinstein.
Talking about Weinstein.
He farted in my face.
Oh, jeez.
Did you like that?
Dude.
You're gonna like that or you're not getting the movie.
I have a very vivid image of Harvey Weinstein in his white bathrobe asking a girl to put her head underneath it like a Civil War camera, and then he just fires away. You want to be in a movie?
We're gonna play Civil War camera. You put your head under my robe. I'm gonna fart, but you gotta keep the same expression for 30 seconds.
Wait, is he like testing how good of an actor you actress you are?
I'll give you Lord of the Rings.
In the bank!
10 more seconds.
Okay, it was Miriam Margolyes and Arnold Schwarzenegger had farted in her
There we
face.
go, yeah.
That was the whole story. All right, so anyhow, he has been found guilty once again.
Yes, and he still has cases pending in Europe.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
it's crazy. All right. What else? Speaking of Harvey Weinstein, Angelina Jolie had some moments with him,
Yes.
too.
Yep.
And I have a story about her. She is stepping down from her role as ambassador for the UN Refugee Agency, UNHCR, after more than 20 years of doing that, by the way.
She worked it.
Yep. She said, I believe in many things that the UN does, particularly the lives it saves through emergency relief. And she said, I will be working now with organizations led by people most directly affected by conflict that give the greatest voice to them. She said that the UNHCR said that she was one of the most influential refugee rights activists they've had. And they said in a post on her Instagram page, she said, after 20 years, I'm stepping down today for my work with the UN Refugee Agency. Refugees are the people I admire most in the world, and I am dedicated to working with them for the rest of my life. She provided no details how the organizations she was planning, or what organization she was planning to work with, but she has officially stepped down from that position. But yeah, she walks the walk, man. She definitely does. Let's see here. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck celebrated the holidays with a sweet duet at their star-studded Christmas party over the weekend.
The audio was terrible. I wanted to get it, and it's not that good.
Videos shared to Instagram show the couple singing karaoke to John Legends by Christmas Eve.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful.
And they shared a kiss.
And the fire is so delightful.
In that as well. So,
you like to celebrate Christmas? You will.
So, according to Entertainment Tonight, Brad Pitt is enjoying spending time with Inez de Ramon.
Yes.
A source told the outlet Brad and Inez recently started dating. Brad is enjoying spending time with Inez.
He enjoys her. He enjoys being with a girl who's half his age.
And getting to know her
And getting
better.
to know her and having ice cream.
Well, all right, so I don't know who
Playing
this one
bocce.
is, but there was somebody he was rumored like it was quote unquote he was dating a normal person.
Well, an age-appropriate person and also someone not in the industry.
So I don't know if
But
it's
this is not
one.
her.
No,
No, that was one girl back.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a newbie.
Yeah, I don't know what her story is.
She won an Oscar.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, but I don't remember for what.
So the source said it is.
No, I'm wrong about that. She's a jewelry designer, and he won an Oscar.
Oh, okay. Congratulations.
He won an Oscar for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes, I read that wrong.
They were both in it.
So this is more of a normal gal then.
Yeah, this isn't the right one. I'm gonna see if I can find the information.
The source said it is still new, but they are seeing where things are going, and they like each
His
other.
pants.
Yeah.
And they are having a good time together. The pair sparked romance rumors last month when they were seen together at a Bono concert in Los Angeles. According to Page 6, he spent
Just want to point out that Brad Pitt's in the audience with his daughter.
Oh, no.
And so, I'm sorry.
He spent his 59th birthday with her over the weekend, by the way. He's 59?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know Brad Pitt was pushing 60, or I never paid attention.
He's
Wow.
he's in
amazing shape.
non-chemical shape, and that's that. If you're blessed with the genetics that he has, you'll look that way at that age. When you see people like The Rock, though, who's in his 50s, and they're making a lot about it now that he looks in incredible shape, and they're saying you've got to be taking something to be. Your body doesn't react that way. He looks more cut up than he was when he was in his 20s.
Robert Redford's one of those guys that stayed good looking, has stayed good looking.
Aged into it the right way, yeah.
It
Absolutely.
looks like my mom.
And Brad Pitt, what?
It looks like my mom.
Robert Redford looks like your mom?
Yeah, remember my grandmother used to call that.
my God.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Call my mom Robert Redford.
Yeah, so back in October, my wife sent me this thing. There's an Instagram handle. It's called Dumois or Dumois. It is all gossipy stuff, but I don't.
Yeah, you mentioned this, yeah.
I did, and I don't really care for it because it is such an invasion of their privacy. Because it's basically handled by anybody and everybody, right? And they'll just send pictures in of somebody eating lunch, and then so the rumor, the thing there, the post said, "Hey, tell us how Brad met Normie, so we all have a chance." So apparently, he had met somebody through an app and was potentially dating this quote unquote normal person that's not this Inez chick.
Okay.
So I guess maybe that one didn't work out.
Okay. All right. Well, now he's on this.
Unless he's cheating on this one with the other one.
Yeah. All right. And then one final story that I'll end with. Let's end with this one. On a recent episode of BBC's Desert Island Discs, Steven Spielberg shared the remorse that he feels about the effect that Jaws has had on the shark population.
Oh.
He said, I truly and to this day regret the decimation of the shark population because of the book and the film.
Sure, now you're upset.
He said, I really, truly regret that.
Well, it was Robert Benchley that Peter Benchley that wrote the book. So it was already a thing. Obviously, the movie was huge.
But if you put it in visual terms for people to see, somebody being eaten by a shark, it's going to have a really visceral effect to it. So according to the New York Post, researcher George Burgess said in 2016, when the movie came out, there was a collective testosterone rush that went up and down the east coast of the United States, which increased the level of shark hunting. So he's got a little bit of guilt.
Absolutely. Hell, we did. We booked a shark charter, but I get it.
Yep. All right, and I think we are ready to roll the clips now. All right, it's been more than 3 years since Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan Season 2 was released, and now Season 3 is finally upon us. Yay, I loved those first two seasons. Here, star John Krasinski talks about the coolest thing he knows how to do because he plays Jack Ryan.
I know how to be thrown out of a Black Hawk helicopter. That's pretty cool. Just in case it happens, I now know how to do it and hopefully not break all the bones in my body. So what happened in that trailer shot is very, very real.
Yeah! It's a great show.
It is.
And both seasons
And he's great.
were equally as good, I think. So Jack Ryan Season 3 comes out tomorrow on Prime Video. That's what I will be doing during the holiday break.
Yeah.
Yes. Next clip. Pushed to the breaking point by Simon, her psychologically abusive boyfriend Alice rediscovers the essence of herself in Alice Darling. And in this clip, star Anna Kendrick talks about trying to give a truthful performance of the film's heavy subject matter. Here we go.
It wasn't like, oh, that scene where I was crying about that thing really helped me release something. It was more like the act of trusting myself and not kind of going for that immediate validation of like the person at Video Village going like, that scene really worked.
Could you shut up?
You know what, Anna Kendrick, why is she so damn pretty?
She's
you know what I mean?
Cute in a girl next door sort of way.
And it's
super duper cute.
But it's also her personality. Like she just seems like she is like fun and has a good sense of humor. And
She was a lot of fun when she was in the studio.
Yeah.
I love everything about her. Alice Darling comes out this week in theaters, by the way. All right, and there you go. That is your entertainment report this morning. All right, we are going to take a break. I want you to hang in there. I have three passes left. I'm not going to give away one now.
Oh.
In the next segment.
All right.
I'm just giving everybody a heads up. In the next segment, I will give away passes for Christmas Miracle for tomorrow morning. Okay, we just gave some away a little while ago. We're going to do another one in a little bit, but I want you to be close and not miss the opportunity, so hang in there. In the meanwhile, text tattoo to 39333 because we have Tattoos Day taking place as well. We'll come back in a moment. Tom Papa on the show later on. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
93.3 WMMR.
Don't discuss.
Ever agree on ever.
And that's not a hole in the relationship.
Right.
That's just smart. You just don't agree on some things. That's totally fine. If it's an agitation, there's an entire rest of your lives to live. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you know what, my wife and I don't
Whether Hulk could beat Hulkbuster.
I don't think we'll ever agree on is which way the toilet paper goes on the roll.
Yeah.
And
or whether or not you should use it.
No. We both agree that you should use it, but I put toilet paper on the right way and she doesn't.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Top down?
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes over.
Does it matter? It does matter to you guys?
No,
You know what? Consider this. You're bowling it up and jamming it in your butt.
It comes off of the toilet paper roll easier.
For
There you
some
go.
perspective,
There you go.
Mr. Morrison.
Aesthetically.
By the way, did you guys see my notes in the bathroom this morning?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, is it still out of toilet paper?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that
Dude, it
the
was
other
out of
day.
toilet paper yesterday.
Did you do that last week?
No.
Because
I did it this
someone
morning.
had the courtesy to put up on the door.
Yeah.
Out of TP, so I went to another bathroom.
Can you fill me in here?
I saw that. So we were out of toilet paper, and
In the men's room?
In the men's room. So this morning I went in there and I did my business. It was a flashback to Casey when you caught me with my pants down in there.
Did you have to move stalls?
I did. I moved over to the second stall, and Kathy was out in the second stall.
Did you have to use regular?
Fortunately, it wasn't so messy that I could pull my underwear
use your
up.
shirt.
And I walked in. I used my shirt.
So I with the sink.
No, I got some paper towels.
Gaskets.
Oh, paper towels.
You had to use paper towels?
Yeah, but I
wet them.
I moistened them, so it didn't rip.
The man played it right.
And so anyhow, what I did after that is I happened to have my highlighter on me.
You put that in your butt?
No.
What is that?
I got 2 pieces of paper towel, and I wrote no PTP.
Yeah.
And set it over the toilet paper dispenser.
Awesome. Because if you go in and you see that, and you don't want someone to replicate your horrible situation. Someone actually stuck a note on the door going in last week, and I appreciate them doing that.
Fortunately, everything was a clean movement this morning. It wasn't mushy.
It was like a good cellist person has a clean movement.
Yeah.
So anyhow, not every argument has a resolution.
Exactly. Getting back to the core issue.
When you start to hit these sub-freezing temperatures, anything below 32 degrees, and then when you get down into teens and the freezing happens even faster, there's all kinds of things that you can do with the weather.
You can play with the weather.
You can play with the weather.
So one of the downside is, of course, the needless loss of life. The plus side is you can do stupid stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So we decided we'd try an experiment or two while we have these conditions.
So what's the boiling water thing?
It is very cool.
So here's what you do, and this is a few years ago. This little thing started to happen and pop up. If you take a pot of boiling water, when the temperature gets well below freezing, if you go outside, Kathy, and you throw it up in the air, it turns into snow. Like immediately.
But, why boiling water and not cold water?
Yeah, because it gets out. I guess because of the heat shift. Can we get our physicists back on the line?
I don't know. Right? I'm not sure. I didn't research it, to be honest, but there's a reason for it. So.
Yeah, and I watched a video the other day of a guy in Minnesota, and I think it was below zero where he was, and he had peed outside, and there was steam coming out.
Yes, that does happen.
Like just flat out.
In fact, maybe you'll have Nick take a dump and see what happens.
I don't know. Nick, you got one cooking?
Yeah, man. I'll do whatever you guys want.
Really?
Nick looks very uncomfortable. But Nick, should we just right out of the gate do the hot water?
I'm going to take the lid off. Max, you're going to toss it. Try not to toss it in my face. Okay.
No, wait, Nick. Before you do it, I would step away from Callie and step away a further. Step out to the lot.
Yeah, all right. So Max is going to throw it into the lot, but I'll take the lid off because Max has both hands on the pot itself. Boiling water. You guys ready?
Yeah, we're ready, man.
Makes sense.
All right,
watch the video. Nick is going to give the description.
2, 1. Here we go. Took the lid off. Max tosses it in there. Oh my God! Now, not all of it turned into snow, but a decent amount of it did. Also, a decent amount immediately turned into steam.
And it's so windy that it went 50 yards away in the blink of an eye.
It was down the parking lot.
It was gone.
We did get instant snow.
Yeah.
But the wind is whipping so much that by the time Nick was done talking, it was already half a parking lot away.
It was gone.
Two things also happened. Max's foot was burnt, and the pot of water is now empty.
Oh.
Ooh. Thanks.
All right, so let's see Callie's hair now. I don't want her to weld to the.
Well, I don't know. I don't think they poured more water on it, Steve.
Well, we don't want her to freeze to the thing, right?
She's still not laying down.
At this point, I'll take it.
Well,
anything.
Yeah, I mean, her hair is frozen solid, guys.
All right.
It's not sticking up like we saw in some of those hot tub photos.
Yeah.
Where people, but I mean, like it's coated with hairspray and it is completely frozen solid.
All right, because she's got very thick hair, so to get that sucker to freeze up the way we want it to would be a lot of work. But you can see the tips; it looks like icicles.
Wow. Okay, so we've learned that water
freezes in cold.
Freezes in cold temperatures.
Yeah.
All right.
And that if someone's hair is wet with that same type of water, it will freeze in cold temperatures. Now we're looking at Callie here. I just don't want her to freeze to make sure she moves a little bit.
Yeah, we can. How long has she been out there? Anybody know?
She's going to look like Wendy O. Williams. What was that?
About 5 minutes.
The punk rocker?
Yeah. About 5 minutes?
Yeah.
All right.
Can she move her head so we can see if it's frozen?
There we go.
Yeah. All right, we have frozen hair.
Yeah.
It's sticking straight out.
No, that's cool. We got it.
All right.
It actually looks like, what does that look? It looks like the when Maleficent turned the forest dead.
Yes. Oh, like all those branches.
Branches, yeah.
Yeah, it does look like that. Bill calling us?
Yeah.
Okay, Bill's calling us.
Bill's not wearing gloves.
Hang on, let me go to him.
Did he come in on his motorcycle?
No, he is. He just took one glove.
Why does he have a chafing dish?
There's no way he came in on his motorcycle. Bill Weston, Man About Town, are you there?
Good morning, my warm-feathered friend.
Hey, so first of all, what do you have in the crook of your arm there? Are those peppermints?
They're peppermints that my wife went to Costco and got like the 30-gallon size.
Yeah.
Realized that she only needed a dozen for her candy dish. And I said, well, why don't you take the rest into work? I said, that's really economically wise.
All right, fair enough. And so what did you want to, you wanted to jump in on this frozen hair thing, I guess, huh?
Well, I see an intern out here freezing her tail off and with no hat on.
Yeah.
You know, your mother always said, don't leave the house without your hat and gloves.
Yeah.
And zip up your coat. And so I said, I hope you get extra credit for your internship program for this. She says, no, there's no credit for this. So, Marissa, we need to have a little chat.
Well, Bill, can you just actually go over and just have her raise her head? Because I think her hair's probably properly frozen now.
Yeah, let's check on the hair.
Hold on just a second.
All right. We just don't want her to freeze to this building.
Yes. We've got some nice.
All right, that's cool.
That's it.
She's good.
It's frozen solid.
Have her come in.
And it's rigid. It's sticking straight out.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Bill, how long are your pubes?
Oh, Jesus.
I just, that's my second question. When Casey asked if they were gray.
Casey asked if they were gray.
Hey, Bill, you can tell her to come in, Bill.
Yeah, you guys can come in. We want to see this.
Hold on, Marissa has something. Marissa?
Just want to say this is Callie's last week, so this is like her last
there you go. We love Callie.
Yeah.
row.
All right.
Don't want to get me in trouble.
All right, Bill, you and Callie can come inside. A Volvo that was owned by David Bowie was auctioned off for approximately $218,000 in Switzerland. His Volvo 262C was one of the last of that line produced in 1981, and it was delivered to his Swiss home in June of that year. The car was initially registered under Bowie's own name, David Robert Jones, before transferring over to the record company Bellway Brothers.
This is the beginning of Philly Loves Bowie Week is today.
Can you do a commercial for the Chili Dogs place?
No, that was Cinderella.
Cinderella. Yeah. Pat's Chili Dogs.
Chili Dogs.
Ground control to chili dogs. Hi, I'm David Bowie with a passionate message about any fan who loves a good chili dog.
How'd you get Bowie to do this?
Well, he was in town.
Well, look who it is.
Yeah, hi. Bing, I'm here to tell you about the best chili dog I've ever had.
Sounds great. Do tell.
It's Pat's Chili Dogs.
How did they get him in the first place?
If you like a chili dog, bum.
Where is it?
I don't know. But anyhow, he definitely
Do you like a good chili dog?
he definitely owned a Volvo, and that's.
Oh no, I've got chili all over my Volvo.
That's Chili Dogs. We Buy Gold place now.
Oh, is that what it is now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyhow, David Bowie.
Do you have extra gold you'd like to make some money off of?
All right, and then finally, what?
What?
Oh, there you go.
I am David Bowie. I just had an otherworldly experience. As Major Tom, I took you into space, but now it's time to explore your belly.
Okay.
Introducing my new character, Ziggy Chili Dog.
Did he have Diamond Dogs?
Chili Dogs.
Was that what his album was? Diamond Dogs?
Was
This new one's called Chili Dogs.
How bizarre would it be just out of nowhere?
He just becomes enamored of chili dogs.
That he is all of a sudden he is a proponent of the chili dog. Oh, this is Diamond Dogs, yeah.
Yeah, Diamond Dogs.
Yeah. Did you guys hear the news that Khloe Kardashian is pregnant? You may have heard that, right?
Yeah. She was on Ellen, right?
She made the announcement, of course, a little while back. She may be head over heels in love with her boyfriend, NBA star Tristan Thompson.
Yeah, head over heels.
But the revenge body star has no desire to get hitched anytime soon. She told Ellen DeGeneres in the first TV interview since announcing the pregnancy that we're not in any rush for that.
We're in no rush to get married.
She added, as you know, I've rushed quite a few things before.
And I've made some mistakes, and I regret those mistakes.
Referencing her marriage to Lamar Odom after knowing him for 30 days. I forgot
wow.
that's how quickly that happened, yeah.
It was just 30 days.
Oh, my God. Look at this picture.
Yeah.
She does look like a
It looks
giant.
like, it looks like a scene from Pacific Rim.
And
She's a
listen,
kaiju.
not fat.
No.
She's just a tall person.
I love you, Ellen.
Do they have her stats on Wiki, like how tall she is?
6'9".
So, Nick, type in how tall is...
I think she's 5'11".
But like, even in their
Khloe
family
Kardashian.
pictures, I don't think she's towering over the rest of them.
No, she's bigger.
And I don't know how tall...
Because OJ's her father.
Ellen is either.
She's 5'10".
5'10".
There we
That
go.
would make Ellen like 3'11".
Yeah, because that's how tall my wife is. She's 5'10".
Yeah, that's not like
5'9", 5'10", somewhere in that range.
bare range.
But I think the other ones are just, everybody else is just tiny.
Tiny?
Yeah. So anyhow, as you know, she said I rush into quite a few things before. Right now, I'm so loving the place I'm in and very happy with how things are. We talk about it for sure. What's meant to be will be.
I just love spending time now foraging through garbage cans. It's really a zen thing for me. Ellen.
Kardashian adds that she knows her 26-year-old beau is a good dad after watching him parent his 1-year-old son, Prince, in a previous relationship.
Okay. That's the tip-off.
She said he's such a good dad. He's so great just during the pregnancy.
All
right, thank you very much, Kathy. I just want to let you guys know that I have noticed a few things that I think are worth sharing.
Holiday edition of the Noticer. The last. Is this going to be the last Noticer of 2022?
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, I think we might get to the junk drawer on.
Should all acquaintance.
I didn't know you sang,
I
Mr.
do
Announcer, guys. All right. The first thing I noticed is that a member of the staff here at WMMR and Beasley Media, Lauren Henwood, Waitkus, had a baby. So I wanted to pass along.
And she went past her due date.
Oh, yeah, she did. Yeah. I would like to send
The
along.
kid's already 6.
Congratulations to Lauren and Robbie Waitkus on the new arrival, Henley Olivia Waitkus.
I like that.
How?
What's that?
How? Their initials.
HOW. Okay. And 9 pounds, 1 ounce. That's a good size baby.
Oh, yeah. When you go
you're
past
right.
your due date, it just keeps
She
growing.
was ready to pop, man.
Yeah, she
but I
was
tell you
ready to
what,
go.
she worked up to the last second.
Literally, yeah.
And then was ready to go, and then
Yeah,
they had to induce her.
I was talking to her a little bit, and she said she wanted to just work, as much as she could all the way up until the end, obviously, so she can stay home with the baby now for a little while.
Yep. So they
They didn't tell anybody the name.
Oh, well, that's cool.
They had it picked out, and they didn't let anybody know. They didn't want any opinions, which I think is a good idea.
Oh, she's wonderful. Her husband's wonderful.
Love that name.
Yes.
Henley. I think that is a great name.
Henley.
Get your Henley.
You're wearing a Henley today, right now, as we speak.
You're right. Yeah. This shirt is a Henley. Yeah.
That's so nice of you. You did that for her.
I
and the
know.
baby.
I was always thinking of those guys. But Rob's a great guy. Went out and played golf with them earlier this year. And super cool guy. And very, very happy for these two.
Does he work at a golf course?
He does. Yeah. He works at one of the Ron Jaworski courses.
Yeah.
He's a director of, not public affairs, but.
Fun and games.
Not fun and games. Hang on a second. With a director of events.
Okay.
That they have like weddings and things like that. So he's at I think it's Deer Run is the golf course. So we
I
had a
think
really,
that's terrific. I didn't know that.
really good time and really good people. So we're very, very happy for them.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing that I've noticed.
I
this
like when
morning.
good things happen to good people.
It is a good thing. All right. I noticed something else. How about this story? As people are about to travel more, and as more and more states, with the holidays that is, and with more and more states legalizing marijuana, and Congress sits on the cusp of passing a landmark bipartisan marijuana bill, things may be looking up for cannabis users nationwide, but not too far up, especially those gearing up to fly for the holidays. The question is can you fly with marijuana? Can you take it with you?
Yeah.
And it's kind of an interesting scenario.
There are issues, and there have been issues with people going to an area, or returning home to an area that is more liberal with the cannabis rules and getting caught.
There are actual receptacles in Denver International Airport. So if you have weed on you, you can drop it in a certain spot because it's legal to bring it into the airport, but you are, I guess, not supposed to fly with it.
Well, the problem is it remains illegal on a federal level.
Right.
All right. So that includes certain cannabis-infused products as well, like CBD oil. However, cannabis products containing no more than 0.3% THC on a dry weight basis, or those approved by the FDA, are the exceptions. So these items are permitted in both carry-on bags and check bags. These rules apply regardless whether you're flying from, no matter where you're flying from or into. But the question is how does the TSA handle finding marijuana in your carry-on? Okay, so the TSA spokesperson said TSA's response to the discovery of marijuana is the same in every state and at every airport, regardless of whether marijuana has been or is going to be legalized in that state. It also covers medical marijuana. So the thing is the TSA's focus is passenger safety and potential threats. It doesn't have anything really to do with drugs and so on. But if they do find some, they are obligated to let local law enforcement know.
Smoke it right there.
And then they take it up. Then it goes on to them. So they don't specifically search for marijuana or illegal drugs. Officers are required to report any item they find that may violate the law during the security screening process to local law enforcement. Those authorities then decide what, if any, steps are taken next.
All right, so don't have weapons in your bag when you're trying to bring pot on the plane.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah. So whether or not
don't put them in your hand grenade bag.
Whether or not the passenger is allowed to travel with the marijuana is up to law enforcement's discretion. So I wonder how. Listen, that's the thing. They're looking for weapons. They're looking for bombs. They're looking for stuff like that. But if they do stumble across pot, I'm wondering, and then they tell a local law enforcement, and you happen to have a medical card. What are they going to do? Are they going to,
would they go through the trouble of turning it over to local law enforcement?
TSA will.
Yeah. So
maybe. I mean, or they might just look the other way and say either throw it away and get on the plane, or I think it's up to their discretion.
And
if you're being like a willing flyer and not being a pain in the ass, they'll probably just tell you to toss it. I think if you're flying from one state where it's legal to another state where it's legal,
they might just do that.
Yeah, they're probably, if you're causing a ruckus, you might get in some trouble.
Do you think if you're boarding a flight, you could bring a salad shooter on board? Because the word shooters.
But, Nick, they don't know. Like, the only person who knows where you're flying from and to is the person that's checking your ticket or whatever. So when the bag is through the carousel or going through that little thingy, they don't know where you're going. I also probably
think. Do you know where you're going to?
No, I think the amount also will sort of dictate as well.
If you're bringing 5 pounds on the plane with you, you might get in some trouble.
Yeah.
If you have 2 joints, you're probably going to be okay.
I see that your travel companion is made entirely of pot.
Yeah.
But it is so all over the place now. You were talking, Steve, earlier about how, do you even know what the rules are or where you are?
I certainly, I know so many people who actually who do travel. And this is a conundrum.
You don't hear of anybody getting arrested for pot anymore, except for that dude. Did you just hear about the ocean spray guy?
Yes.
The Dreams guy?
Yeah.
This dude? He got busted with pot.
And he was traveling on a flight.
It's illegal to fly with cannabis, and people have been arrested for doing so. There's a criminal defense attorney said that he has represented dozens of people who have been arrested for carrying cannabis through Bay Area airports. So,
would it behoove you to dress as a pilot?
It's a risk you take. I think the best bet is to put it in your checked luggage.
Yeah.
And not carry through. Because how often are they checking checked luggage?
So they have
these days.
Here's the deal.
Wait, what? Oh,
Apparently, they do. On those matters, they do have dogs peruse through the luggage.
But they're looking for weapons.
They're looking, right. But,
or, like cocaine or large amounts of drugs.
I was recently in the airport, and they had a dog, and the dog was checking every bag that was checked, at least at the counter that I was at.
Okay.
And
so at the ticket purchasing counter?
Yeah.
Interesting.
At the ticket counter.
Okay.
The dog was checking everything that came through. Then they had the dog, same dog, and I don't know if it was connected, but he freaked out at a bag.
Freak out! Freak out!
It was interesting to watch. It was very interesting to watch.
I think they're fascinating.
So later at the gate, sitting, waiting to board, the same dog came. He searched all the bags, came over to mine. Yeah, he did. And he ran across and he found a guy, and he just, he didn't bark or anything. He just, whatever, indicated to his trainer that this was it. And they took the guy's stuff. They went through, they made him take his wallet out, and he looked like a guy who was probably had something on him. He was like a backpacker. He, probably was out camping somewhere. Maybe had a little.
Going to Boulder.
Yeah, right, exactly. And the guy ended up boarding, and they let him on. But that dog, there was something there.
So the dog will do it at the ticket thing, and then when you're going through the security check, you take that walk.
Yeah,
along
they
the
walk sometimes.
It's like the Soul Train dance, and but Preston, there's a great.
I love
scene.
that because you don't have to take your shoes off. Or anything, or your electronics out of your bag.
In the movie Top Secret, there's dogs that are they're jumping up on a guy who's got a package and they're responding to something, and they take the guy away, and the bag is full of dog bones.
Right. Right. So just a heads up on that. I'd always assumed that if they went through your bag, your checked bag, and they found like a tiny amount
Yeah, just don't be an idiot.
They're not gonna.
It's like going to Delaware and buying.
They're not gonna pull you off the plane.
Will they call your mother?
I don't know.
You can't drive wine across the border if you go buy it in Delaware and bring it back to PA.
Which I still don't understand.
And that never happens.
And people do it every single day. And so, like,
Like who?
some I don't know, female coworkers who are on the radio.
Yeah.
I wish somebody could explain that fully to me.
The whole taking the booze across state lines.
Yeah, so I can't be I can't go from Delaware to Pennsylvania with a bottle of wine in my car.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know what the story
And
is.
we even asked. I think it was.
Is that a PA liquor law?
Well, I think wouldn't it be Delaware? I don't know. We asked Chris Coons when he was on once, and he also didn't give me an
who's waiting
explanation.
at the border? Is it Delaware or Pennsylvania police?
Good question.
It would
I
be
don't
PA
know.
police.
Yeah, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're leaving and then they're not going to pull you over for leaving.
And Nick's right. What is the frequency of those interdictions where they're stopping people with a dessert wine coming across?
Does it have to do with taxes?
I believe that's it. It always ends up having to do with money and revenue lost and so on and so forth.
like,
you could actually stay on the PA side with a long enough straw.
Right.
And drink it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we should do that.
We should.
Should
Yeah.
we? Straw, Preston.
Technically cross the state line.
Straw stations. We could have the Preston and Steve straw stations.
But all right, so what if you're not even going into Delaware specifically to buy liquor? Like, I actually have to go to Delaware
That's
today.
what I mean.
Right? And then I'm there,
It's
and I'm
convenient.
you know what? Hey, can you pick up a bottle of wine for dinner? Okay, yeah, let me grab that for you. Can I get arrested for that?
So this is an article from the Inquirer in 2021, and apparently some of these liquor laws have to do with prohibition laws that were passed in the 30s. Governor Pinchot was the governor of Pennsylvania at the time.
Bronson Pinchot.
Bronson Pinchot's uncle, Gifford Pinchot, and but he was a teetotaler. He strict anti-alcohol laws, and a lot of these laws date back to then.
You remember that?
These are the blue laws and things like that.
Prohibition is one of the few things that worked completely.
Yes. Let's learn from history. All right, I have some other things that I noticed, and I want to pass along to you. So GrubHub users could not stop craving one food, and it now ranks as the delivery service's most popular dish of the year. Steve, you know what this is.
I do. I'm going to have to accuse myself.
Anybody want to guess what the most popular, and this is like a generic...
Like pizza?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's not pizza. I'll give you that. What would be the most popular dish of the year for Grubhub? What do you guys think?
Wow, okay, that's not, pizza would have
Tacos.
Okay.
Chinese.
Case?
Well, I'm going to kind of go with you on that. Sushi.
All right. Kathy's closest. It's burritos.
Do burrito bowls count too?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Burritos were ordered more than any other dish on the platform in 2022. I love a good burrito.
Yeah, I
sure do.
I can't order that stuff because I love Chipotle.
Makes you go boom.
No. Whenever I order for on the mobile app, they get it wrong. So now I need to sit there and watch.
Seriously?
Yes, they have messed up my order so many times. Like I'll leave without the chips that I ordered and paid for.
This is pizza.
I've also I've ordered food to the Chipotle in Rio Grande, New Jersey when I was going to the one in Newtown Square. So I'm like, you know what? I can't.
It's been a nightmare.
Fool me once, shame on me, and it's been shame on me forever.
Steve, I love that idea. This is a pizza.
Yeah.
I ordered a burrito.
Is there a pizza burrito?
You guys have a pizza?
Probably.
Oh, yeah. Wait, it's
That
similar.
sounds like a pizza roll.
Yeah, the Philadelphia taco is Lorenzo's Pizza.
No, that
and-
food truck that was at Camp Out.
They made pizza burritos?
Well, it was a cone, but I mean that's essentially what it was. It was in the shape of a cone.
Let me finish Casey's thought. The South Philly
Taco. It's Lorenzo's Pizza.
You take a cheesesteak and
Yes.
you wrap it. You wrap the outside of it with a slice of Lorenzo's.
Yeah.
And that's
a lot of eating.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of eating.
So what if you had a flour tortilla and made I like
that idea.
Pizza burrito?
Yeah. So pepperoni, cheese, sauce.
I noticed the notice just become the connoisseur.
Somebody's got to make that.
Yeah.
Nick, do a search on pizza burrito.
Preston, you're always cooking at home, and you guys are a little bit more inclined to make the stuff there. Are there any of these GrubHub services or anything that you use occasionally at home?
No, I don't think we have them out my way.
Because of the distance? You probably do, but you probably pay a premium for them.
I remember looking once or twice, just a couple times, they're like, do not serve that area. And I'm like, okay, we'll forget it. So that was years ago, and I've never gone to it.
Wait, what, for like Grubhub or something?
Yeah.
I'm
kind of out in the boonies.
I think that it's my whole paying for shipping thing, but I think I've used it once or twice. One of those services. I think I used Caviar, and I don't, because of the fee that you get. And then the prices are higher than if you were to just go to the restaurant,
jump in the car and go there and pick it up.
And pick it up. Yeah. And
I
then
use it all the time.
But then I think the restaurant gets less.
Well, here's the deal. Like, there's a restaurant that I love and healthy food and Mediterranean diet and all that stuff, and they put a flyer in the package that the caviar, now it's caviar and dash. Dine Dash, whatever that is. DoorDash, right. So they call your caviar deliverers Dashers in the app. The difference is that, so a lot of those places that I love, they'll even put a little flyer in the bag saying, hey, why don't you, we're close enough, why don't you come here? But I'm like, I'm right. If I'm that close, why can't you just deliver? I would use your delivery service.
Yeah. Well, and but some of the restaurants, they push you to those sites. Like, there's one that I love by my house, and it sends directly to one of those delivery services. So
one of them is in Manayunk, and really at the time that I'd be going to get it, I would have to be SEAL Team 6 to find parking.
There's also an aspect to Grubhub that I have become just slightly aware of, and that is the ghost kitchen Grubhub. So you might
scary.
You think you might be ordering from, so like our friend Wilson's Secret Sauce. Right?
Yes,
they're just Secret Sauce. They're on Township Line in Delaware, Delaware County. Apparently, somebody is using their name and cooking out of a ghost kitchen in like King of Prussia. So you think you're ordering Grubhub Wilson's, and it's not. It's a different place.
It's a shell game.
Shell game is still in the name.
A number of people are texting in saying, yes, Skip Back and Harleysville and Telford, you can get it, but it's expensive.
Yeah, and if you order, by the way, a lot of them will do, like at the height of the request time, if you're ordering at a certain time, those delivery fees skyrocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So other than burritos, and by the way, across the United States, people ordered over 4 million burritos with ingredients served in bowls or wrapped in tortillas. But the dish wasn't the only filling food that people were craving. Number 2 on the list were cheeseburgers. Number 3, cheese pizza. Number 4, pad thai. And number 5, chicken quesadillas. So those are the top ones.
When you order, I assume when you place an order for delivery, if you do pizza at your place? Yeah.
Pizza's about the only thing that we'll have delivered, and we very rarely do that. That's only if, like, we're having, like one of my kids is having a bunch of friends over or something like that.
You have teenagers that you can send out to go get it.
Totally. Yeah. So here are some breakdowns of the top foods. So the top breakfast food per Grubhub, sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich.
I never think of, to me, those things are always like a dinner service. I never think of Grubhub for breakfast and or lunch.
Top lunch food is burrito. Top late night food, chicken quesadillas. Top dessert, tiramisu.
Oh, that's your favorite.
Love tiramisu. Top alcohol is beer. The top coffee is iced coffee.
Who delivers beer?
Don't know.
Yeah.
It would depend on what state you're in, I assume.
Yeah.
And the top trending cuisine, Australian.
Australian?
Yeah, they have those
I don't know
what
Australian cuisine.
What do they call them? Dimmies? Do you ever have a dimmy?
Even not.
Dimmy's like a meat pie.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, when they're a basketball player? Or
Ben Simmons,
he's Bruce Willis's ex-wife.
That's Demi.
Oh.
Those are okay.
I haven't had one. I want to try one. They basically just looks like an empanada, really.
Yeah, they dropped some off here when he was.
I didn't want to do that one.
Okay.
All
right.
You guys like pho? P-H-O? Pho?
People have mentioned it.
No, I like Q.
Yeah. Pho is delicious. And I've ordered that. There's some good pho places. I just like saying pho.
Yeah.
But no, it's delicious. It's Vietnamese.
I've only had it a couple times.
Yeah.
It's really good. Now, it looks like it's pronounced pho, P-H-O.
Correct.
There's a place, King of Prussia Mall, that focuses on that.
It's next to the place.
I like ordering it because you get all your ingredients separately. So I don't care for ordering a cheeseburger. Because I feel like the quality is diminished. When you order pho online.
What is pho, by the way?
It's a Vietnamese soup and you can add a bunch of different noodles. Steve, you can get it spicy. It's kind of like, sort of like a Chinese soup.
Interesting things that go in it, like lime and mint and
caulk.
And caulk.
Oh, I don't want to stay. Hold the caulk, please.
Italian caulk.
It's too much.
Like a giant.
Give me black caulk.
This stuff is very binding.
I like black caulk soup.
Yeah. Good stuff.
All right. Well, anyhow, those were the top food trends from Grubhub in particular. By the way, Marissa wrote this down. Drizzly and GoPuff deliver a beer.
That's right. Yes. Thank you, Marissa.
And they have a meat pie stand at the link if you want to try it there.
That's good meat pie.
That is yummy meat pie.
Do you have any ham coffee?
I'd rather have hair pie.
All right, so let's see here. Kansas universities may scrap their algebra graduation requirement because too many students fail the course.
Oh, my God.
And according to a report, it said about 1 in 3 Kansas students fails college algebra the first time around. Some take it several times before they pass. Others get so frustrated that they drop out altogether. And with that, the Kansas Board of Regents is considering alternative requirements such as statistics and quantitative reasoning under what's called a Math Pathways program.
Isn't that harder?
Well, the vice president of academic affairs said, and this is what I found was interesting. It says, we're sending the majority of students down the college algebra road, which is really not necessary. It's not practical, it's not really needed, and it is not relevant for their fields.
So my mathematics course throughout my education was algebra, calculus that you'd end up taking in your different years of high school.
You ever take statistics?
Never took statistics.
Very different math.
Yeah.
And I was really good at algebra, pre-calc, calculus in high school. And then I took statistics in college and got slammed by it. It's a totally different approach to math, and it's really difficult.
Okay, so if you're not going to be an engineer, why do you need to know these things?
You don't.
I mean,
you're supposed to have like a broad,
and I understand the point of high
but you
school.
don't have to take
is to throw this stuff at you and see what sticks and what will work for you, down the road.
I didn't take statistics. It wasn't necessary for my major at all. But I did have to. But you do have to fulfill a math requirement
if you're going to become an engineer. Well, you found out, Preston. What was it? What you took?
Astronomy.
Astronomy. You realized how much math.
There's a lot of math in this.
It's all physics.
Yeah. So math I was just okay at. I mean, I never made it to calculus. I did algebra, algebra 2 and geometry, and then after that I was done.
I used to be able to help my son with his math homework, and he's in pre-calc and statistics right now, and it's just like, all right, good luck, buddy.
Yeah, like I never even tried trigonometry. I think was the next step before calculus. Right?
They're related. Calculus
I was good at I was good at trigonometry. I did great in that. I got to calculus, and I was like, I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, it's one step up,
Well, but I guess for this particular,
is it possible to dumb down the curriculum?
Well, I don't know. They want to get rid of. I don't think they're dumbing it down. They just want to get rid of algebra.
Right. You stink.
And said that, Casey, they said the requirements, alternative requirements such as statistics and quantitative reasoning. What's quantitative reasoning? Is that another branch off of statistics, maybe?
Sounds like something with a more logics-based bent.
The Pathways program aims to accelerate students'
We're getting rid of adverbs.
Through development math and enables them to take different paths through the math curriculum depending on their course of study.
See, I can't even tell you what an adverb is. Give me an example of an adverb.
It's a modified verb. Or is it a modified adjective?
It's an adjective used to describe either an adjective or a verb. So if I ran quickly is the adjective.
Right.
Is the adverb.
Right.
But that car is quick is an adjective.
I just remember lolly, get your adverbs here. Do you remember that?
No.
You don't remember that?
No.
That's a great rock.
No.
Lolly, get your adverbs here. quickly, get your adverbs here. You got to move.
Halfway through my explanation, you're on Schoolhouse Rock.
Yeah.
I mean, like, literally, that's how the brains work, That's the crap that you remember.
To be honest, though, if you're talking about the applicability of a lot of the things that you learned, we're living in a world where a lot has changed. and where, I guess I can understand revising. But if you were to look at the classic educations of years ago, what people went through, the amount of studying, when handwriting or the ability to, all of that stuff was stuff you were graded on. Forget it.
When I have to think of what an adverb is or an adjective or interjections or any of those things. Conjunctions, I immediately go to Schoolhouse Rock in my mind.
Chlamydia cydia.
Wait, what?
I forgot that one. Yeah.
That's the STD lesson.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know they did science. That's cool.
All right, so anyhow. All right, I noticed something else. So the original animatronic model used to bring E.T. to life in the film sold this weekend for $2.6 million.
Wow.
I don't have that.
The item...
I'm simply what am I?
A botanist.
A botanist on my home planet of...
The item was sold, Queef Splat, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The item was sold as part of a 2-day mega sale put on by Julianne's Auctions and Turner Classic Movies. It included more than 1,300 props, and they had some big stuff.
They had some really cool stuff.
Yeah, De Niro's Raging Bull boxing gloves.
Yep.
And Mjolnir, Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
Was up for grabs as well. But the highest ticket item was... E.T.
It looks like E.T. after being starved to death because it's basically just the structure underneath.
Oh.
It's a metal frame.
Right.
Oh, wow.
When E.T. gets sick, that part always scared me.
Yeah.
When he's that sickly body.
You were scared. I died.
Yeah, he kind of turned like a grayish color.
Yeah, I know. You went to France and got sick. I almost died.
Yeah.
Poor bastard.
With 85 mechanical joints, nearly everything moves on the ET model.
Everything moves all right.
From the eyes to the neck, and of course the pointy finger that was held aloft.
My 7-foot dong.
You have a
close up like a fire hose in my abdomen.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Huh.
That's pretty cool.
It rolls up.
Yeah.
Wow. It contracts. That's pretty crazy.
You need a couple guys to hold it because it starts flipping around like a crazy snake.
Okay. It says a maquette of E.T. What is a maquette?
Like a mock-up.
Okay. Also sold for $125,000.
Carlo Rambaldi was the guy who built this thing for Steven Spielberg, and he had done a lot of work on Close Encounters. He built these articulated things. They were very impressive.
So a guy that we hung out at Michael Giacchino's with, Kirk Thatcher, he designed the arms.
Yeah.
And he told us that story while we were there.
Yeah, he was also instrumental.
He painted them or something along those
And he was
lines.
instrumental in the design of the Sarlacc pit for Return of the Jedi.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And
The
now
physical
this stuff,
effects.
And now this stuff just goes for millions of dollars on occasion.
Oh, my God. Yeah, if you have stuff like this...
I blew Caroline's mind a few weeks ago. We watched, we're going back and watching some movies that she's never seen. And so I was like, have you ever seen Little Shop of Horrors?
Oh, God, yeah.
No, I'm like, well, let's watch this. And so we're watching it, and I go, interesting fact, I go, this is not CGI. This is a practical puppet. And the movements she was blown away. And then I showed it to Carter, and he's sitting there going, wait, what?
Wow.
That's an actual puppet in there? And so they were blown away by how that thing operated.
So there is a YouTube channel that I follow. It is a guy who's totally committed to to highlighting the craftsmanship of the physical effects of movies like that. Things that didn't use CGI. Now, mind you, there's wonderful CGI effects experts, but there needs to be a tip of the hat to the people that did this stuff prior to that stuff and made it look real.
A few of the other things that hit the auction were the staff that Charlton Heston used to part the Red Sea and the Ten Commandments. That went for $448,000. That's pretty cool.
I mean, that's Moses' moneymaker.
Yeah, totally. And
Gots to have my stick.
It's about as long as E.T.'s penis.
Yeah, that's right.
That went for $448,000. And Daniel Radcliffe's Nimbus 2000 broomstick.
Really?
From Harry Potter went for $128,000.
I'm surprised it didn't go for more.
Yeah, me too.
The Harry Potter like fan base would see. I thought that would drive the price up more.
Yeah.
You know what though? There's probably so many decent replicas.
Yeah.
That you got to have the foot. The foot placements. The stirrups.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah. So
if you look at the effects of that first movie, where they're doing Quidditch, with playing Quidditch.
Yeah.
It's nice, but I mean, they could do so much better now.
Oh yeah. As the movies progressed, not that long ago, because I finished the entire series. I'm like, okay, well, now I'm gonna go back and watch. Right. And there's a huge leap from the first movie to say like the fourth. But at the time when that first movie came out,
state of the art.
This is amazing.
Yeah. That movie came out, and there was a game too that was pretty decent. But the big thrill,
we had it.
Playing Quidditch, flying around Hogwarts on the broom.
Fun.
It was awesome.
We loved that game. It was on PlayStation 3 or something. I think so,
like that.
Yeah. But we got a real kick out of that one. So, 13 props went up for sale. I wonder if someday
One's my skeleton.
I'll look into buying some small piece of some famous movie.
What movie? It's a tough one. What movie would you most want an item from, and what would it be? Can you think of it now, or is it just a wealth of things?
I mean, like, Thor's hammer. That'd be a pretty amazing
Horse
thing.
hammer.
Horse hammer. If I went for something from like my favorite movie, like The Breakfast Club,
what would you get?
Probably Bender's denim jacket, maybe.
Wow.
Oh, what
Something
about
like
one of
that.
the picture of the janitor when he was like
in the beginning of the movie? Yeah, Man of the Year.
Yeah.
What about Ali Sheedy's skull?
Is that up for sale?
No.
You got to wait till she dies.
Yeah, when she dies.
Yeah, there'd be. What else would be memorable from that?
What about you? What Kubrick movie would you want to get a piece from?
Well,
you think that would be it?
Yeah. Well,
2001?
one of them would be. I would love to get any one of the original ships from 2001. Anyone in the opening sequence, the Discovery itself, that long centipede-looking ship at the end of the movie. I would do that. I tell you what, I'd really love to get is the ship from Forbidden Planet.
Okay,
that is such an iconic, spaceship, and it just, to me, that's one of the great movies of all time, and it's everything science fiction.
What about, and I know it's kind of plain, but the obelisk or whatever it's called.
Absolutely. In fact, there was a company that was making life-size replicas of it for like $10,000. Yeah, but I mean, you do, I mean, probably the one that I'm most interested in getting is that Forbidden Planet ship.
Okay.
But there's a company that makes them. I could buy it, but I'd also have to secure a divorce lawyer at the same time.
Anybody else?
I'd love it, like the golden snitch from Harry Potter. That'd be a cool keepsake.
That's a cool, yeah.
And it's small, so you can actually store it in your house
and hide it from your
yeah, right, exactly.
I was just gonna say this stuff takes up space.
Kathy,
collecting dust.
There is a version, Preston, of that ship that I'm talking about that is like 4 feet across. And there's no way you could hide that.
Kathy, what about like Rizzo's Pink Lady jacket or something like that? Pink Lady's jacket.
My closet is so full.
Oh, shut up.
Give me a picture of it. That stupid jacket.
God.
Would you ever wear anything from a movie?
The Gimp mask from Pulp Fiction.
I know the Gimp. I can text that guy.
Bring out Romano.
If it looked good, yeah. Like if it.
I'm sweating in here.
Nick, there's.
I don't know. Stop bothering me.
There's some vintage clothing that people wear that's absolutely gorgeous, but then there are people that try to do it, and you're like, that is so old, and there's holes in it. You know what I mean?
What
like
about
it just shouldn't be worn.
Kathy, what about the prop that was Rose's necklace from Titanic?
Yeah, the heart of the ocean.
Because that's what about from Dirty Dancing? What about? Well, there's really nothing that is it.
That necklace is kind of tacky.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was
It's
like,
ridiculous. Even she let it go. She threw it out.
Atta girl.
This thing makes me look like a whore.
I did. Oh, sorry, Case. Before I did actually wear Sandy's outfit the other day. It just wasn't vintage.
Oh, the pants.
Right. Yes. Yeah. When oh my God.
Sandy.
You had like
Cassie.
Yeah. Although you were wearing a white top, right?
I was.
Sandy.
You're right, Case. I should have put a leather jacket on, and then I would have been good.
I think maybe if we're gonna go for a bigger item, maybe Pee Wee Herman's bike from Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
Oh, yes.
Cool.
Well, dude, we used to have a replica of that at a radio station I worked at. And we had enough room like here that I could ride it around all the time. I mean, it was a complete 100% replica of that thing. It was awesome. I loved it.
Also be so yes, that makes sense. I thought of another one. The James Bond's briefcase. So I'm spitting James Bond's briefcase from Russia with Love that had the knife in it.
Okay.
And the explosive locks, all that stuff. And that's a little bit more compact. Case, I think the bike is an awesome idea. There's got to be somebody who does replicas of that bike.
Maybe, but I remember as a youngster coming up, the Kerbeck house, right? So the guy Kerbeck cars.
Yeah.
He had a house in Ocean City that was like right up on the beach, and there was always Lamborghinis or Ferraris in his driveway. But one day the garage door was open, and there was a Pee Wee Herman bike in there, and I was going to steal it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. We would have called you Francis.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, hang on a second.
What?
I have something for you.
Okay.
Francis.
Thank you. All right. Anyhow, so the sale is over with, but the movie props pop up from time to time, and you can, if you got the dough.
There are sites where you can perpetually find things up for auction, but these were some of the heavy hitters.
All right, that's it. I'm done noticing.
Notice he's done.
Yeah.
Bid farewell. Goodbye, Noticer, for 2022.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
See you in the new year, Noticer.
Actually, I'll see you tomorrow at the Christmas Miracle Live broadcast if you're caller number 25
It's a Christmas
right now.
miracle.
All right, caller 25, 215-263 WMMR. You get to go to the event, and you never know, you might get called up on stage to participate in our trivia contest. So call right now, 215-263-WMMR. So keep in mind, you have to be there early tomorrow morning. And you can bring a friend with you, but only your name will go into the cage that we draw from to get up on the stage. But we have various other prizes that can be won for everyone. And we'll be at Parks Casino. It is the Miller Lite Ugly Sweater Edition. So come and get it. More giveaways through the morning. We'll be back in a second. Bizarre File on the way.
Preston and Steve.
On 93.3 WMMR. What's new?
1-year-old and has moved on.
He's a great dad.
He's fathering another one over
dad.
here. And
Did he bring Khloe to the birth, Preston? Did you say that?
That's a good question.
Exemplary
To the first
dad?
baby? Yeah.
Sweetie, I'd like you to meet my girlfriend.
How long is her gestation period? Do we know?
I don't know, because
It's 2 years.
there's a hibernation thing, right?
You guys are mean.
The one thing is that the baby can immediately forage for itself when it comes out.
There is a picture here of the 4 girls, and she is significantly taller.
Significantly.
I'm a little bigger.
And you know they're wearing heels, Kathy.
Yeah.
When she gets into her laughing fit, man,
she's so
watch
Can't
out.
stop. It's a runaway train. Her gynecologist actually zip lines it. It's crazy. Okay, everything looks pretty good. Is that a stalagmite? What is that? Oh my God. One-eyed Willie.
Chester Copperpot.
There's an entire pirate ship in here. Hey, you remember when we fought that octopus? Oh, that was in the edited scene.
Yeah, they took that out of the movie.
By the way,
The Gooeys instead of the Goonies.
she's really pretty.
She has.
She's yes.
She doesn't look anything like she used to look. My assistant. Come on over here, man.
Hey,
look
Sloth,
at
come
this.
here.
Look at this. Navajo cave etchings.
Then when they have to do the look around the back end.
Goonies taking place inside Khloe Kardashian. Quickly, hide in the fallopian tubes. I'll use my chattering teeth to pull us up.
Oh, God. All right, so anyhow.
Okay.
They'll name the boy, if it's a boy, Tristan Jr.
Okay, cute.
Just to let you know. Here's another bit of trivia for National Trivia Day. Long before rap battles, there was flighting, the exchange of witty, insulting verses. The verbal throwdowns were popular in England and Scotland from the 5th to 16th centuries. So it was kind of like, your mama jokes, I guess, going back and forth. But back in the 5th to 16th
Your mater
century.
gives handies to the house staff.
Your mater.
Yeah, mater. Your mater inhales snuff through her buttocks.
Burn.
Got you.
Dude, you know what that made me think of? Is we talked about knock jokes being a big thing in the 1930s and 40s.
Yeah.
And you were FDR.
He was trying to
doing a knock. Who was that? Your mother manually stimulates migrant workers. Oh my God! Yeah, so it was called flight hating.
Yeah,
fighting,
and they would jab, do little jabs at each other.
Your mater is so corpulent, when she sits around the house, the spire sticks in her rectum. Snap.
Oh, snap.
Snap.
Oh my God! All right, so that's what they used to do apparently. So that's been going on for a long time.
I think we talked about this one time. The history of humor and what makes us want to laugh and makes us want to make others laugh, and it goes back. A lot of times, the basis of everything is in insults.
I felt like an idiot yesterday because my 8-year-old daughter got me with a little bit of a joke.
Did she?
Yeah. Can I get you with it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, you ready? Steve, would you remember me in an hour?
Yes.
Steve, would you remember me in a day?
Yes.
Steve, would you remember me in a month?
Yes.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
I thought you said you would remember me. Snap! I was like, how did I fall for that?
My daughter got me one yesterday too, which was what do you call a suspicious noodle?
What?
An impasta.
I was like, spaghetti?
All right.
It's like beef stroganoff.
Yeah. You heard of jerking cattle?
Beef stroganoff. Mm-hmm. Or did you hear about the peanut walking through the park? It was assaulted. I mean, they're so stupid.
I know, and they're great.
Yeah.
I don't even necessarily know how to verbalize the feeling that I have inside when I see like lame Eagles chants and people making up their own lame Eagles fight songs and lame quote unquote pep rallies.
As you were.
Like forced pep rallies.
Forced pep rallies.
Forced pep rallies. All right, here's one. Yeah, and these I love the outfit and I love the zeal for it.
Can you describe it, please, for those who are listening to the radio?
So it is an older couple. Married couple that has made up, and they're dancing. They're wearing Eagles gear. She's got a cool little Eagles tinsel wig on, and Steve, I know you love tinsel.
I'm a huge fan of tinsel.
Right.
And they're making up their own Eagles song.
So you hate this elderly couple because they've made up their own Eagles song?
I think it's a lame song.
So what? They're having fun.
You know what? And you're right. They are having fun.
But here, Marissa, pull the audio. She heard us talking about this in the break, so she pulled up the audio. I haven't heard this. I've just seen this video footage that we're watching right now. So here we go. This is them, and their Casey says lame Eagles fight song.
Fly all the way up. Fly all the way up. Fly all the way up.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Eagles, do your thing. We need a Super Bowl ring. Fly all the way up.
Yeah.
Fly all the way up.
Yeah.
Fly all the way up.
Get behind this, right?
Fly all the way up.
I agree with you, Kathy. Yes, they're having fun.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles.
I love it. I love the genuine zeal, the energy. What you don't know is that this woman is an Army veteran who donates her time on the... No, I don't know what the story is. They're having a great time.
Yes.
I was trying to run a CSI diagnosis or analysis of, I think, what... These are clearly... long-time Eagles fans.
They're really happy.
Really entrenched in it. Are you more pissed off about what you perceive to be bandwagon jumpers Okay, then I'm at a loss.
I just don't. Why do you have to make this a lame song? We have a good song.
But they're not.
Because they're having fun. They're a couple. They're having
you know
fun.
what,
in their
Kathy?
own
I'm
home.
with you. I am
Listen, they're
totally
not
with
out performing it somewhere.
Fly all the way up. Well, yes, they are.
They're
And
in their
now it's
house.
on my Twitter feed.
Let me
I have
ask
no
you
control.
something.
Don't
In
watch
defense,
it.
and Kathy, I know you're going to back me up on this. What do eagles do?
They fly all the way up.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And then they also swoop down and
Wait,
listen.
I love his participation. Where there's like one time where he's like,
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I don't think they're trying to rewrite the Eagles fight song. They're just having some fun.
Listen, and I know because I bought the stinking dog mask. And anybody that wants to criticize the dog mask craze, I say, shut up. We're just having fun. You know what I mean? I'm basically contradicting myself.
He's admitting the hypocrisy here.
Yeah.
So you're saying on a completely visceral level, and you don't understand it.
Right.
Is it all just based on the fact that you think this song sucks?
Yeah, I think.
When I think it's brilliant?
Well, all right. So I think I'm mad about the song because it was presented to me, and I believe it was presented to me on Twitter like, dude, this is great.
What do you mean? It was posted.
No, yeah, but it was somebody sent it to me.
Oh.
So somebody added me, and they're like,
as in-
this is great. And I was expecting it to be like this awesome song, and then I click on it, I'm like, oh.
That's not their fault. It's the person who sent it to you.
I think what they meant by this is great is look at this older couple having fun. That's probably what it means.
Fly all the way up.
Yeah.
Fly all the way up.
Did you see?
Fly all the way up.
I love that.
Fly all the way up.
Yeah.
Come on, Eagles,
wanna
do
hear
your
his.
thing. We need a Super Bowl ring. Fly all the way up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. Wait, it's not even a whole yet.
It's like this.
Well,
It's like, yeah.
I'm on camera too.
It almost sounds like a someone from Maine. I'll.
Fly all the way up.
Yeah. Can we have some goddamn dinner now?
We should try and start a new chant. I think this one is
S-E-A-G. No, not Seagull?
No, not Seagulls. No, fly all the way up.
Fly all the way up.
Yeah.
Fly all the way up.
Hang on, we have the actual.
Fly all
You've
the
come
way
around
up.
on this, haven't you?
We have the.
Fly all the way up.
I think we have the song that that inspired the
Come
whole thing.
on, Eagles, do your thing. We need a Super Bowl ring.
Wait, here's
Fly all the way up.
best part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. It's just, I've been with this woman for 33 years, and every day is a living hell.
Here we go.
Shorty, what you want? I got what you need. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. All the way up.
I hear his part now.
I'm all the way up.
All right, so that's what it came from.
I hear his part now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
What? Is the dinner ready? Yeah. They're an adorable couple. They're having a blast. Yeah.
Well, I think that is the guy filming. The guy in the background, I don't think he
Doesn't ever
does
say anything.
I don't think he does
He
anything.
is dancing.
He is dancing, yes.
Yeah.
He's got some moves.
Is this song done now? Did we win the Super Bowl yet? Yeah.
Have you seen these tattoos that people will get of waveforms?
Of what now?
And you can use an app on your phone that reads the waveform and actually plays your tattoo. A gal got a tattoo, a waveform tattoo of the last voicemail that her grandmother left her before she died.
That's freaking wild.
And it was like, hey, honey, just wanted to call and say hi. All right, I'll talk to you later, something like that. And so she took the digital waveform, which any digital audio equipment, you visually see a waveform, and they managed to tattoo it. Here's a video of it up here on the monitor here, Steve. And they tattoo it on their skin, and then you hold this app up to it, and it reads it and plays it. How?
In their voice?
In their voice.
Shut.
Because the waveform is precise to the to the
tonal quality of the voice,
and it's amazing. Now, my question is how long is that going to last? That tattoo is eventually going to bleed a little bit in the size.
Hi, sweetie, I just called you.
But
now I regret getting that tattoo.
But it's pretty amazing.
Probably should have watched my weight.
Yeah.
I see it's grandma.
There's stretch mark for us.
Yeah, put it in a spot that's not, put it like on your gut or anything.
Yeah,
like that.
something that's not going to expand or contract over time.
Isn't that cool?
That is cool. Talk about a tattoo that has some meaning.
Yeah.
And that can be converted to the audio is very cool. Even still, just a visual representation of your loved one's voice.
Think of Tupac whenever. Is anybody else besides me?
It must be hip hop sliders.
Right. Yeah. All right, I just want to make sure I wasn't the only one. All right, let's do B-File.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Red Robin. The holiday gifts are all wrapped. Give the gift of yum with a $25 Red Robin holiday gift card and get a $5 bonus buck reward for you now through December 31st. Red Robin.
Yum.
Thank you. All right, so a man suffered serious injuries from an alligator bite after he decided to wash his hands in a pond.
Yes.
An alligator bit my hand.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
The Sanibel Police Department said officers responded to a 911 call on Thursday morning. The caller told police he was bitten by an alligator. When they arrived, first responders rushed to put a tourniquet on his wounds. Like, it was bad.
Very bad.
Officers said that the man by the pond was washing his hands when the alligator attacked him, biting down on his right arm. The man was able to free himself and rushed to call 911. First responders said the man had a serious injury to his right forearm. He was taken to a nearby hospital by paramedics. State trapper captured the alligator, and it will be euthanized. I saw my mom and sister have an alligator in their pond.
Did you see it?
I saw his eyes.
Oh, really?
Sticking up out of the water. So I named him.
Yeah.
His name's Yahtzee.
Why Yahtzee? Why not?
Because the weekend that we saw him there, we were playing Yahtzee.
Ah.
Okay.
And I thought, and that's something you yell, Yahtzee!
I like it.
So thank you. All right. A 60-year-old woman from Washington was likely killed by an aggressive shark as she and her husband snorkeled 50 yards from shore.
He farted in my face.
Wow, man, that the shark. So that's probably, they lull you into a state of unconsciousness. And then they come in for the kill once they fart in your face.
So this was near Maui. They were only 50 yards off the shore.
Wow.
That's
That's
not
the
very
farting
far.
sharks.
The woman's husband told investigators that he and his wife were not snorkeling right next to one another, and he could only see her from time to time as a shark circled him. He said he continued looking for his wife and thought that she may have been diving toward the ocean floor. He told officers the shark swam off while he continued looking for his wife by popping his head up out of the water and scanning the surface. He did spot something in the distance, and then the shark came back, and he could see something red around the shark's gills.
Oh, no.
Man.
At that time, he said people on the beach began yelling at him to get out of the water because the shark was feeding in the area. The husband's statement was corroborated by an eyewitness on the beach. The eyewitness saw the shark's large mouth continuing to feed on something in the middle of the red cloud in the water. How horrible is that?
So it seems like there's been a fair amount of shark attack stories in and around the Hawaiian Islands.
Yeah, there has. The woman's name has not been released, but according to the U.S. Coast Guard, an active search off South Maui was suspended following 17 searches over the course of 40 hours. It covered an area of 306 miles.
That's horrible.
They didn't find her. More than likely, the shark ate her.
Yeah.
It's horrible. A Tennessee black bear walked 1,000 miles just to eat off of the same picnic table. On Wednesday, a local broadcast news
I
channel
love burritos.
in Knoxville reported the story of a determined black bear that had traveled across 4 states to return to its favorite feeding grounds at a campsite in Great Smoky Mountains National Park.
Where you going, bear?
Going to the Smoky Mountains.
The initial episode happened in June when
I wake up.
officials received complaints that a female black bear was grabbing food off of picnic tables, sniffing trash cans, and even stealing backpacks. Wildlife crews trapped the animal, relocated her 1,000 miles to the area of South Cherokee National Forest in Georgia. Scientists labeled the bear number 609 and attached a geolocating device to it. Wildlife biologists tracked Bear 609 as she proceeded to walk across Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina, and then into Tennessee.
Come on, everybody. Well, I will walk behind.
And eventually returning to the campsite where it had been trapped.
Talk about focus.
Yeah, Bill Stiver, one of the wildlife biologists, said it was definitely one of the most bizarre movements that I've ever seen.
Just myopically heading to one destination.
She never slowed down. She just kept going. Stiver said the bear's journey is the longest he'd seen among relocated individuals. Typically, bears will walk upwards of 200 miles to return to familiar territory. How do they even find their way?
I gotta imagine like GPS.
Yeah. No, so I was
Waze.
There was a bear in Clifton Heights earlier this year. Like, how the freak does a bear end up in Clifton? You know how many like urban areas they have to go through?
Yeah.
Well, somebody, they're way smarter than me. They follow creeks.
They do.
So,
It happens. That's why. You'll. Again, people say in this area, how do we end up with these animals in this parking lot? Well, they're following that sort of stuff. And where there are patches of forest, they'll kind of jump from them,
Yeah. So
it'll
this
happen.
This one made it 1,000 miles.
There was a hippo in the lobby this morning.
Insane. Wow. Okay. A man is facing charges after investigators said more than 100 animals were rescued from deplorable conditions inside his home. And it's an interesting array of animals. Prosecutors charge Larry McAdoo after officers were called to his home.
Guess what I McAdoo?
For an animal cruelty complaint. Karen Sparapani, the executive director of the Milwaukee Area Domestic Animal Control Commission, said, I'd never seen anything like it. It was like Noah's Ark. It had everything. Officers said, and listen to this list of, you will not believe this list of animals. They found 25 dogs, 23 birds, including chickens, ducks, parakeets, a turkey, and a macaw, 14 rats, 8 hamsters, 7 hedgehogs, 6 lizards, 6 rabbits, 5 guinea pigs, 4 cats, 4 chinchillas, 3 tortoises, 2 alligators, 2 snakes, a goat, a ferret, and a raccoon inside of the house.
All right, and how many of those were alive?
All of them.
What?
Yeah, so
6 gerbils, 2 cats, a hamster, and a rabbit.
Rescuers said that removing some of the animals, specifically the longhorn goat, was extremely difficult as the animal tried to headbutt animal control officers.
That's what they do.
They said getting him out of the attic was a challenge because it was not like you can put him on a leash. The animals overall were described as friendly and not aggressive.
Oh.
He said that they were all friendly and socialized. They're all
And who are you?
They're all placeable, and that's not typical with the traditional type of case. So none of these animals were dead, and they were in decent condition. Investigators said, though, that some of the reptiles were being kept in temperatures too cold for the species, and said the alligators were in a 60-gallon tank with filthy water.
The guy had the best of intentions. He's just an idiot.
And what kind of animal are you, sir?
I am a hamster.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, thank you for being a spokesperson.
No, it's no problem.
For the crew. A turtle found at the home was described as becoming deformed from the conditions in its tank. And
you're deformed.
Signs of metabolic bone disease. But Sparapani said that
I'm naked. Can you spare a panty?
That the home's owner was paying people who believed had been caring for the animals. McAdoo told police that he helps... I love these names.
Spare panty.
Wackadoo said that told police that he helped.
Spare panties. Come in here and help me.
He helps find homes for dogs.
Be right there, Wackadoo.
And tried to blame the home's condition on 3 teenagers who didn't clean up. The property has been boarded up, and a notice on the door says the property is unfit to live in, citing unsanitary conditions.
Did they mention what kind of smell they were greeted with?
No, it didn't indicate. And there you go. That's what I have in Bizarre File for you this morning. Okay, let's do another one of these. We only have 2 left, and I'm giving away one now. It is the Preston and Steve Christmas Miracle.
It's a Christmas miracle!
Yeah! Live broadcast is taking place tomorrow morning at Parks Casino, and let's get you caller number 21 at 215-263-WMMR on the list. You can bring a friend. It starts nice and early, and we hope to see you there because we got great prizes to give away. Really good stuff. Casey was
good stuff.
Running down some of the packages that we have your opportunity to win. So we're looking forward to it. And let's have that caller happen right now, and we'll come back in a moment, and we'll give away another one before the morning is up. Stay with us. We'll return shortly.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Cue the jingle.
Represent. Now, it may be what happens is, I don't know the specifics. In the perfect scenario, the waveform represents exactly all the tonal aspects of what it's representing. However, maybe what it does is the app plays it back through a stored recording that matches that waveform.
Let's find out. I'm looking
All right.
it up right now.
Because it almost seems.
Where are my cookies?
Yeah, it almost seems impossible, and you want them. You want the waveform to stay in their best.
Right? Yeah.
I have to piss.
It's great hearing him again.
You don't want me dead. Okay, you can have my money, you blood-sucking bastards.
I also like to look at animated feature film because we watch a lot of animated movies in my house. The Boss Baby. Nick, you liked that, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
I saw it. It's funny. It's funny for adults.
Yeah.
The Breadwinner.
Oh, is that one of those lame ones?
And from Czechoslovakia, the breadwinner.
I didn't know you spoke Czech.
They show a clip or something. You don't even know what it is.
It's the Czech Republic now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the cashier's
But
Czech
Steve's
Republic.
right. This is a headstrong young girl from Afghanistan. She disguises herself as a boy and blah, blah, blah.
All right, the Breadwinner.
Because she wants to learn and then go to school and go to college and have a life. Shut up.
Okay.
Kathy, Coco's on here.
Yay, that was so good. I loved it.
That was so good.
I like two chickens to Coco, please.
Is that really how it sounds?
It's two chickens to Coco. I think you need the photosensitive screening.
It's fine. I hate myself.
I like Coco.
So Coco's on there.
It was very good.
Ferdinand, which none of us have seen.
It's John Cena doing the voice of the Ferdinand the Bull.
I would like to see that. And then Loving Vincent. That's got to be another one of those, right?
Yep.
From Romania, Loving Vincent.
Get that bear.
It's about Vincent Van Gogh?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like a great cartoon.
Boring. Yeah. Maybe one of the guys from The Bachelor would be there.
Yeah, I love it. I love you. I cut my ear off.
Saoirse Ronan's in that too.
He has a talking cat.
I love it.
Oh, this is rotoscoped. So the process of rotoscoping is taking live film and coloring it in.
Oh.
It's not even animation. Shut up.
All right, stop me on a category that you care about. All right, foreign language film, film editing, production design, costume design.
Ooh.
She's back.
Ooh, I say Coco.
All right, here we go. Beauty and the Beast.
You know what?
They had great outfits in there.
I was a sucker for that. But did you see it?
I didn't see it. No,
Kathy,
I didn't see it.
I was not, I wouldn't say I was resisting it, but I'm like, how are they going to improve on the original French version,
Right.
and then the animated version? They did a great job.
All right, so this is a costume design. Darkest Hour, Phantom Thread, L, why does it have an L there? It's The Shape of Water.
The Shape of Elvis.
No, it was L, The Shape of Water.
Okay.
And Victoria and Abdul. I don't know that one.
That's the Queen Victoria goes to like
Right.
Iran or something.
Okay. Makeup and hairstyling.
Nah.
Original score.
Yes, yes.
And,
Michael Giacchino.
Michael Giacchino has anything on here. I don't know.
He did Coco.
Coco.
Yeah.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Preston and Steve Show in Philadelphia, Kathy Romano. The world of animation is a wonderful world.
All right. Here are the original score. Dunkirk. Lisa Marie Presley.
Wow.
Lisa Marie turns 50 years old.
That's right. That's little Lisa Marie.
Yeah, little.
It's okay. It's okay. She's 14.
Well, it was a different time.
It was a different time, man, when you could date a 14-year-old and have sex with a monkey in the room.
Well, this is his daughter. This is the king's daughter, Lisa Marie, not Scylla.
Scylla, yeah.
So
I get them all confused.
I know. But she is, she's turning 50 years old today, so it's a big one for her.
Now, she was married to my Michael Jackson and Randy Keough.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who's Randy Keough?
I think
Danny
that's
guy or
Danny Keough.
Danny Keough.
Yeah, and then she was also married to Nicolas Cage, and then she was married to a guy named Michael Lockwood, and
It's a whole morass of stuff.
currently single.
She participated in probably one of the most awkward kisses ever televised, which was the MTV. And he said it wouldn't last. Look, I'm hetero.
It was so weird. It was so weird.
Look, I can kiss chicks. All right, here we go.
Let's just count down.
It took every bit of effort.
Your little boy, your little boy, your little boy.
Oh, dude. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I did it.
Oh, Jesus. That's what's going through his head.
Your little boy, your little boy, your little boy, your little boy. Your little... I did it.
You donked it. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, Lord.
They said it wouldn't last. In your face. I'm a little boy forever.
Has she ever said anything?
She says, she actually says it was a good relationship, like a regular relationship. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's how he powers through.
Your little boy, your little boy.
All right, here you go. Your little boy, your little boy, your little boy, your little boy.
All right, Jesus.
It's like when we were eating the surströmming.
Yeah, you're like,
all right.
This is prime rib. This is prime rib.
Man, there's only one waterbed store in New Jersey. And they have, I'm looking up the pricing, but it's conveniently located near Route 1 and 287.
That's when you call it.
Yes, hello?
Okay.
It's
close to
Yes, hello? What? Oh, it's a pizza place. You got the wrong number.
Hang on, let me.
What a message is it? Yes, hello, can I help you? Yes, Blue Night. Yes, we have them, and we're open.
It's like,
yes, hello.
I don't think I've ever heard you yell into that filtered microphone for. He's looking for it. Hang on a second.
Yes, hello. Yes, Waterbeds, we have them. Waterbeds, hello. You're the receiver.
Falling on the floor.
Yes, hello.
Wait a minute. Do it with the receiver. There we go. All right.
Yes, hello. Yes, Waterbeds, we got them.
I don't know. That's got to be a lonely gig.
I grew up, where in St. Louis there was a place called the Waterbed Store, and it was they had several locations around the city and everything.
Yes, hello. Yeah, who is it? What? No, wrong number.
Damn it. They sell them on Amazon.
Please stand, please. Yes, we're open. You just say, I'll come to you.
Is this the Waterbed Store?
Don't even drive here. I'll come to you. Where are you?
Jim, I'm gonna go to Jim. Uses a waterbed still. Hey, Jim, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you? Gadzooks.
Gadzooks. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I own a waterbed. I use it every night.
Oh, no, we're talking about waterbeds, not waterbeds.
Different product.
Different product.
What is
Jim,
that?
how long have you had it?
20 years.
Yeah, Jim, is that you? You want to buy another one? Jim!
I actually had to buy another one about 3 years ago and had to order it from California.
Okay.
Jim, is that you? Jim!
He's the last waterbed owner.
Jim, is that you? Jim!
By the way, here's a text that says Jordan Woods is her best friend. How do you report on them all the time and not know this? I don't pay attention to
Yes,
my reports.
of course.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, this
I
is
just
all.
report this stuff.
Yeah, seriously.
Our goal is to not retain any of
At
this.
6:58, we have forgotten everything about the job.
Absolutely.
And that's the way it should
Well,
be.
Jordan Woods was never, ever spoken on this show.
What?
No, I don't know the name Jordan Woods either.
I'm sure at some time or another.
If I have, I think through therapy, I was able to forget it.
But anyhow, as Kylie's baby news took over the internet, her mom, Chris, was whooping it up.
Jesus Christ.
At Chrissy Teigen and John Legend's house.
Stop it.
and they were watching the Super Bowl. But it looks like, hold on, it looks like Jenner may have had too much fun. Tegan shared a shot of a broken table on Snapchat explaining that Jenner crashed into it.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
Kris Jenner smashed into the table, apparently, and took it out while
Oh no, that's my favorite table.
That's while she was whooping.
Shelbyville, is it?
Whooping it up. Our next guest is an accomplished writer and director. A couple little things you may have heard of before, like Loopers and Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
And you want me to play his game?
WMMR.
Thanks, Kath. So, want to put a twist on something. We talked about, every year around this time of year, we try to help people out finding some gifts that they're having a difficulty tracking down. And we thought it might be kind of fun if we throw this out there to the listening audience for people to share with us, like a badass gift you got somebody, like a unique gift that you would like to share the idea with other people. You know what I mean?
Like my husband loves fly casting or fishes. Is a fisherman. What can I get him that'd be something cool or different or something bizarre or something that's just
unique,
some direction. I find that you talk about being able to locate a gift being frustrating. Being able to come up with one for a lot of people.
I find that more difficult, personally. 215-263-WMMR. If you want to share a great gift idea, we're all ears. And there are tons of people listening right now who still have a few more people on their list, or maybe their entire list to go through.
We got a couple days.
And they're just looking for something that sparks an idea. And that's what we want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now might be too late to do something that's personalized, but...
you can just write it in magic marker.
No, but like Press, for the golfer, right? There's 1,000 things that you can get them, right? But when you can make something and personalize it, it makes it even better. And Press, you did something for your buddy where you got him club head covers.
Yes.
And I think that is a brilliant, great, thoughtful gift idea. They were personalized.
So what is the turnaround on something like that?
Oh, that took like a month.
So there's no way you're going to be able to come up with that.
No.
That's just crazy
So
talk.
that was not just an embroidered name or something like that. That was an entire logo that I had created, and they had to embroider it on there.
And you whittled his entire set of clubs.
Yeah, I did. I did. It's a new venture that I'm getting into.
This is a little less. I mean, this would be easy to do. You could still do it, but I did it for somebody this year for a Pollyanna, and then I actually received something similar a few years ago, but your favorite coffee shop. So I went to Dunkin' and I got, the coffees, the little pods, all of that stuff. And then the merchandise cups. There was a water bottle, a coffee mug, a travel mug.
So you got like a whole, so you actually essentially put together, like for the Christmas Miracle, you put together a themed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a big Dunkin'
Those are
basket.
hits.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. In case you wanted to add something else?
Yeah, so in addition to the golf thing, what I found, and you can personalize this, but not in a way, Steve, that it makes it like you're not going to be able to get it. But so they had these little stencils for golf balls.
Right.
And so, like you can get like initials and stuff like that. So when you have your golf ball, you just take a Sharpie and you use a stencil, and each one of your golf balls that you can get can be personalized with your
Looking
initials
for
on it.
stencils for my balls?
And so, you can do it yourself?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
All right. I'm going to go to Gloria. Hi, Gloria. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, Gloria. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Merry Christmas.
Same to you. So you got something unique. You wanted to share this as a gift idea.
I got a helicopter flying lesson.
Ooh.
But I never got to use it. Well, he never got to use it because of the pandemic. So
helicopter flying lessons.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Has he wondered out loud about wanting to fly helicopters?
You know what? When we first met, he's got this huge tattoo on his back of like the Army scene, and he always was into that. And I wanted to do a flight around the city, but then I found that they did the lessons too. You go up there for like a half an hour, and then they let you fly it.
No, you're right. Experiential things are always a go-to. Trying to get an idea, and it sounds like he would be into that. He just hasn't had a chance to make good on it.
And is that local?
Yeah, kind of. I think it's down the Northeast Airport. It's called Adrenaline, I think the company is.
Adrenaline. All right. I like that. Thank you, Gloria. That's a great
very
idea.
good gift idea. He loved it.
Oh, all right. Awesome.
Ever since.
Cool. Thanks, Gloria. Take care.
With Steve, with my mom being 75, like I want to get her more experiential things than anything else.
I fly.
Yeah, well, no, but she doesn't need stuff anymore. She already has stuff, so I just want to get her these experiences.
I think that's Well, I mean,
you know what
that's,
actually
that's
is cool?
all I want. I don't want any more stuff at all, period. So, like, if you're ever in the market for me, and I'm going to make this segment about me. No, like, all I want is experiential stuff because, like, to me, like, I don't need another fleece. I want to go out and do some cool
Well,
things. You
thanks
know?
for telling me now. That's one llama.
All right. Sorry, Steve.
No, I want to experience what it's like to have a swim spa in my backyard.
For
That's-
example, what would it be like to
Right.
own a swim spa?
Yeah.
An experience.
I
Let
wanna
me
see
go.
what that's like.
Let me go to Erica. Hi, Erica. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you guys?
Great, Erica. All right, so interesting gift idea. You're going to share this.
Yes, and it's an experience, so everyone can get excited.
All
I got my in-laws accordion lessons.
Accordion lessons. Are they?
It was also a Groupon.
Okay,
Just like,
Erica.
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Okay,
Yes.
so really, honestly, why was because the very first year I overdid it. I got them a gift that I could never have gotten it better.
Yeah.
Like by accident, I didn't realize what I was doing. So after that, I was like, you know what? It's all about experiences because again, they don't need anything.
So you're saying you got them such a good gift the first time around, you
Exactly.
purposefully got them bad gifts.
Hey, they liked it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you.
Accordion,
Erica.
yes, especially if they're into accordion. Don't just assume they'll be.
All right, so take that as music lessons.
So this is
if
something-
somebody showed an interest in an instrument, open the door for them to get some lessons.
I got you an accordion.
Awesome. Have I ever mentioned I like that? There are things you can do that are, though, even if you don't want to pay for lessons, there are things like apps that'll go on your iPad that you can set above the keyboard that'll teach you how to play.
Right.
Kath, what would you like ballroom dancing lessons?
I didn't love ballroom dancing.
No. Okay.
It was fun, but no, I love the salsa much more.
Okay.
Oh, my balls.
But what if you and Dennis did it together?
No.
No. Okay.
What if you and I did it together?
Yeah.
No.
What about me and you?
How about a sexual surrogate for you two?
Yeah, right.
I will go next
Ooh, that
to
took a load off.
Krista. Hi, Krista. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, what's up, Krista?
Not much. So I just wanted to share that I like to do something special just for me. So I'll paint like ceramics, or I might buy wooden letters for a person's last name and maybe make something special out of that.
Okay.
And then it's also something personal for me that I did for that person or the people that I'm giving it to.
And have the people you've given it to been convincing and pulling off gratitude?
Steve hates handmade gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the people that I give it to, I have to say that they enjoy it.
No, I understand, especially if you're
you
good at it. But it's like, again, you have to be sure that you're good at it and do that. You know, one of the
Thanks, Krista.
one year, and we were talking about the things with the SEPTA gift shop, Preston. One year, Marissa got me these just little plaques. One said Manayunk and one said Mount Airy, of the towns that I've lived in. And that's a great idea.
That's thoughtful.
Sometimes that's just something, that you can hang up.
We're looking for thoughtful gifts, interesting gifts. We're going to go to Morgan next. Morgan, good morning.
Good morning. Is it Ann Gorski's birthday yet?
Not yet. But it'll be here before you know it, and your shopping days will run out. What's going on, Morgan? What do you want to share with us?
One of the interesting gifts that I have that, like, piggybacking off the experiences is I have two older brothers that have young kids, and my brother-in-law has a little girl. Last year, I got them all zoo memberships to the Elmwood Park Zoo.
It's awesome.
It always kind of, like, I have three older brothers. My husband has three brothers. It gets so expensive buying for our brothers, our in-laws, and the kids, and it was really nice to give them the zoo membership because they could go as many times as a year. The zoo, the Elmwood Park Zoo, at least you get to bring a guest or two, and you get to get like food and drink all day, and they have like a petting zoo and stuff like that for the little kids.
I love it. Excellent, Morgan. Thank you. And
That's a terrific idea.
So keep that in mind. You've got the aquarium, the New Jersey State Aquarium. You have also museums like Philadelphia Museum of Art. If there are people that you know that are into culture and things like that, you can get them memberships. If you know somebody who's outdoorsy, Longwood Gardens is a great membership. You can get that.
Absolutely.
So those are solid gifts.
And
right
they're usually not terribly expensive, but you get so many benefits. from them.
And sometimes there's different levels of packages that you can purchase.
Membership to Lou Turks.
Lou Turks.
Oh, wow.
Is that a strip club?
Yeah.
It's over by the airport.
Delco's Finest.
That's cute.
Yeah, they redid it.
Oh, so membership would be nice.
Nick, it's now called Louis Turks.
Yeah, they got a new boombox that's next to the stage.
Sorry, sweetie, I got to change the song. Hang on a second.
Now we only play symphonies.
Oh my God! Well, I was gonna say I just did the zoo membership, and it's good for babies who don't know the difference anyway. Do you know what I mean? And they were getting so many gifts for this occasion. They didn't need another gift, and so now they have a membership.
And kids love going to
Yeah, of course.
Love it.
I think what happens is people get carried away by the notion of something, open this and I can start using it. That'll be something that it'll come a day in the middle of June where they'll be out having a great time and go, God, this is a great gift, and they'll appreciate it.
Preston, can you go to 4? Go to Jessica because I think this is a great idea.
Right.
If it is what I think it is.
Jessica, you're on the air. Good morning.
Hi.
Hi. All right. So Kathy thinks this is a great idea if it's what she thinks it is.
Absolutely. My daughter received a gift from a friend, and it's from a company called Phalo, F-A-H-L-O.
Okay.
And it's a beaded bracelet, and it has an animal on it. Hers is an elephant. And you download an app, and you're able to track an actual elephant. They give you a card with the elephant's name.
So that actual animal, okay.
Yeah. And you track it and see where all it travels. And they have other animals, too. They have penguins and polar bears and turtles and things like that.
So, Jessica, this is perfect. This makes it easier to hunt it, right?
Oh, my God. No, but Steve, a portion of the money goes to different charities.
That's you're exactly right. I love this. And also, because there's things like, adopt a tiger or whatever, and they'll just send you like a little thing. And we adopt all sorts of animals, around the world and quote unquote adopt. But this kind of gives you a better connection. I love that idea,
is really
Jessica.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny you mentioned the poaching thing. My daughter downloaded the app, and she's like, mine hasn't been tracked since August. So I reached out to the company, and kudos to the company. They responded to me on Sunday, even though they're closed on the weekends. They were great. And they told us that they are tracking it daily, but they don't report it to you an actual day. It's 4 months ago is where the elephant was.
I would like it a little more frequent.
I feel kind of cheated.
Right.
Well, and also so I'm thinking like, what if it dies? And then you're like, nothing's happening with my elephant.
All right, Phalo, F-A-H-L-O. That's a unique gift, though. Thank you, Jessica. We appreciate the idea.
Yep. Love it.
Hey, a side note, you guys, we listened to you on podcasts. We were the family 6 years ago that lived on the sailboat and went down to the Bahamas, and we reached out to you, and you gave us a nice shout out.
Oh, yay. Excellent. Good for you guys.
Are doing all sorts of cool things.
Thanks for sticking with us, Jessica.
Absolutely. We love you guys.
All right, we love you. Take care. All right, so both Andy and Mary have the same one, but Andy was on the phone line first, so I'm going to go to him. Sorry, Mary. Hi, Andy. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. You guys rock. How are you?
Thank you, sir. All right, so what's a great idea? We're looking for interesting, off the beaten path ideas for people to hand out gifts.
Well, I know. I think it's something that you've done before, Preston, and I just did it a couple months ago, but the stock car racing experience.
Yeah.
I mean, unparalleled. If you know anybody in your life that likes to drive fast, and I don't know anything about NASCAR. I've never watched a full NASCAR race.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about the cars, but I love driving fast.
Yeah,
So
that's the thing.
It was my son's idea for our birthday.
It doesn't even have to be. It doesn't even have to be a race fan. You're right. Just somebody who wants that really
that thrill, that rush,
that adrenaline experience. And I assume you went to the Pocono experience.
We
right?
did.
Yeah.
We did, and it was hands down the most thrilling and exhilarating thing I've ever done.
cool.
It could go 170 miles an hour.
Yeah, that was going 160, and we hit a bird, but it was pretty wild.
It is absolutely crazy. So yeah, and my recommendation is the minimum would be the 10-mile thing that you do, the 4 laps. I think we ended up doing 20 miles, and it was just enough.
One thing, Andy, and I don't know because you're exactly right. That experience, I did the ride along. I didn't do the driving because I just wanted to see what was going on. But do they allow you to also to take your own vehicle out? Do some of the tracks allow you to take your own vehicle out and open it up?
Yeah,
they have certain weekends.
Okay.
Yeah, they have certain weekends that they do that. So I think you have to call them and arrange that. It's not all the time, but they do have certain weekends where you can bring your cars, and people bring all kinds of stuff. There,
I'm going to open this gremlin up.
There with a Mini Cooper that was souped up.
That's
the
awesome.
was doing 150 miles an hour around the track.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So people bring all kinds of stuff to race.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right, thank you, Andy. Appreciate
It's
it.
a good idea.
And you can do. They actually have a track on the infield in there too, which is different. It's not an oval. It's all kinds of different turns. And then there's Millville does that.
Yep.
There's all kinds of places where you can get that done.
That's a cool idea.
I think it's 877 Stock Car is the number to call.
Where is? If you can go to Sean on 7, I was just thinking about doing this.
Okay. I have Sean indeed here. Hey, Sean. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
What's up, bud?
So I actually did something for my wife because she's really into like the period drama shows like
Right.
Bridgerton and stuff like that. Well, it kept popping up on the Facebook, the personalized ads, and I bought her one of the ladyship titles.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but you actually get like a square foot of property in like Scotland, and by their own country's rules, you then can claim that legitimately, legally claim lord or lady. Correct?
Well, it's kind of it's a little sketchy in that, but you can entitle yourself as lord or lady. But like if you want to put it on a passport, it's not a true lordship or ladyship. But under the Scottish law, it does allow you to address yourself as a lord or a lady.
Okay, so you could put on your various documents, but you're not acknowledged.
Yeah, correct. Because that actually has to be given to you by like the queen or king and all that stuff. But
You sort of have it, right? Because you're a landowner technically in Scotland.
Yes, correct. So, but you can actually purchase anything from like the 1 square foot up to a 10 square foot.
What's the difference? I mean, honestly, at that point,
9 more square feet.
All right,
it's
sure.
more costly.
You can build a bigger house.
Yeah, exactly. But they also do. You can sign up for a monthly tree planting as well. So not only do you do the land conservation, but then you can also plant a tree every month for I think it's like an extra $6 a month.
And Sean, it's my understanding that this plot will exist. If you go, they will show you where it is on this.
They actually send you because I'm. Luckily, my wife isn't listening now, but they actually send you a document that gives you all the coordinates, gives you everything about your plot, and then they have 2 different certificates that you can actually print out, and you can put them on, the nice paper that's like the certificate, and it says, granted this lordship to, so-and-so and all that, and it's actually really, really neat.
These idiots, they'll never come over again. Never once, not one of them. To me, it's a moneymaker.
This to me is better than buying someone a star that you'll never get to. At least you could go over and check if it's there.
Yeah, it's a little gimmicky, but it's something that goes towards land preservation. And like I said, if you're someone who likes to, get into the period drama stuff, it's kind of neat.
All right, it's good for that person. I like that. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate it. Some people are texting in the master classes.
They're awesome. That's an awesome idea.
Right? So they have almost everything. And any kind
we do the one on radio.
Any kind of musical instrument, movie making, writing, all kinds of stuff.
Scorsese, James Cameron, chefs, authors.
And almost any kind of trade. There are famous people that will do these master classes.
Yes.
So I think you can just do, I don't know what the company, is it called Master Class?
Yeah, and you can do it via Instagram too. Like some of these the people that they will sell their own master class on their Instagram accounts.
And to Steve Martin did, I think routinely they fall in like the couple $100 range.
There's a guy named Michael Pollan. He's a great writer, and he's doing one on like nutrition, and I signed up for it for 2023.
What is the general price, Nick? Am I right in that $200 range?
Yeah, like one. I think Steve, we paid $125 or something like that. But yeah. Man, I'd love to get like cooking lessons from like a real
Kathy.
chef.
She knows the master
Kathy.
class.
Maybe Lauren Harris.
I could easily show you how
Not
to
you.
do some
anyone but you.
All right, this
remedial
one's,
class.
All right, this one's weird, but we're looking for interesting off-the-wall ideas. I'm going to go to Matt. Hey, Matt, good morning.
Good morning, Ed. How are you today? I'm actually calling you from Scottsdale, Arizona.
Home of the Fighting Irish.
What's the temperature there?
It's actually pretty cold this morning. It's 44 degrees this morning.
Yeah, that bomb cyclone going across the country.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, or the bomb, is that what it was? Yeah.
It's the bomb.
Cyclone bomb. Anyway, Matt, what did you want to recommend?
Okay, so my parents actually got this for my wife and I after our first daughter was born, and I thought it was a great idea, and I plan to do it for my kids after they have their first child. They actually got us paid for an appointment for my wife and I to go to a lawyer to create our wills and such, so that there was planning for the eventuality. I know it's a little morbid sounding, but so that everything was planned out for our children in the future, should anything happen to us.
I mean, it's a necessity, most definitely. And that is something, that you would need to get from a parent or someone along those lines.
Could you, as a gift, take someone out of your will?
Yeah. Yes. This is a lawyer. We get an appointment with a lawyer to take Aunt Hazel out of your will.
Yeah, because, she eats grass.
I like that. Matt, that's a unique idea. All right, it might be somebody listening.
Pretty unique and different,
All right. I appreciate it. Thanks for checking in from Scottsdale, man.
You got it. Bye-bye.
What's
Take
the
care, Matt.
there's
See ya.
the legal Zoom, or what is that? Where you can prepare your own.
Oh yeah, that's like they do a bunch of different. You can create your own business on there.
Right.
They stalk you down if you even go to their site and you
Oh,
look
really?
information, they will stalk you.
Yeah, I got a few.
Yeah,
of those.
you either have to do one thing: you use their law documents, or you learn the accordion. Those are the two things they are.
I will go next to Mike, looking for a unique idea. Hey, Mike. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's
Hi,
up,
Mike.
What's
Is that Brady Bunch?
It is.
Okay.
That's Mrs. Brady.
It's so loud.
Hi, Mike.
All right, Mike. What do you want to add, Mike?
Okay, so anyone who gets decimated by mosquitoes during the warmer season,
Yeah.
there is this product out that got one for my wife and for my father. It's called a bat box. I don't know if any of you guys are.
I've heard of a.
Yeah, they send you a bat every month.
No, it's the bat of the month club. No, it's like a bat house. It's one that you put it outside and they will come in and dwell in that, right?
Correct. Yeah, that you get this bat attractant spray, and it essentially brings in a huge bat population, and each bat supposedly eats like, I don't know.
No, they eat tons of mosquitoes.
That's a good idea.
Mike, they
That
eat,
is a
they
good
eat-
idea.
In fact, they are critical in keeping the mosquito population down. So that is a great idea.
Yeah.
I like getting the bat boxing videos.
Thanks, Mike.
Some great bat.
Bye, Mike.
Yo, Mickey, cut me.
Yeah.
Bye, Mike.
Yeah.
Hi, Mike.
All right.
You got to use your echolocation to find them in the ring.
By the way, I'm fully obsessed with these Philo bracelets. You can, for $10, you can have it shipped by Christmas, and also there are certain colors on Amazon that'll get it to you before Christmas.
Does it mention how often you are how they get the location, how between updates?
No, I'm looking at some of the information. I'm not exactly sure. I guess it's just through the app where you have to go to their app. I don't know, but it doesn't say. It doesn't really give detailed information like that.
Also, going back to the owning land in Scotland thing, be very careful. A lot of people are texting in saying that there are several scams attached to it. So if you're going to go about doing that, do your research, make sure it's vetted, because there are several out there that are just complete scams.
Well, that's how I ended up owning Hungary.
All right, I want to go to Tim. This is an interesting one. Hey, Tim, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, so my wife and I got married last year in May, and for Christmas, I got her a custom record with songs from our weddings, a song for our wedding.
So a vinyl record that you play on a turntable. Okay.
Yeah, we have a record player, and there's you customize the album artwork, so we put some wedding photos on the front and back.
Okay.
You pick whatever songs you want. Yeah.
And this could be not just for a wedding thing. This could be friendship,
Oh,
yeah, I love that.
Yeah, anything. Yeah, you send in the songs you want, kind of find them on YouTube and convert them to an audio file.
What is the name of the company that you used?
So I found them on Etsy.
Okay.
All right. So do a little searching. You don't have a particular name, do you?
No, not off the top of my head. No.
All right,
but,
that's searching around. I'm sure people can find that. That's
I
cool.
found it quickly on Etsy. Yep.
Now it's going to be too late to get that this year, but file that one
You
away.
can get an 8-track.
You could. Imagine that. Custom 8 tracks. All right, thanks. Appreciate it, Tim.
I got a suggestion from my friend Meredith a few days ago. I meant to bring this up earlier, but there's a company called Universal Yums, and this sounds like a little nerdy, little dorky, but I got it for my son because, like me, he's a geography nerd, and it's snacks from around the world. And so you get a snack from South Korea, and then it's like there comes an information packet about where the snack comes from, cultural facts about the place or whatever.
That's kind of cool.
And it's like Jelly of the Month Club.
Yeah.
You know, it's that type of thing. But you
The gift that keeps on giving.
you get a new snack every month, and you learn about a new country every month.
Somebody must have dropped that off in my house the other day because I had like Asian cookies that were sitting in my bush. The other day, my Christmas lights were out, so I went to go fix them. I looked down, and there was a package of Asian cookies.
What?
That were.
You think it was Meredith?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think you have probably Asian. It's the old tradition of Asian cookies in the bush.
Is that what it is? I didn't know about this tradition.
If you're extra good, Asian Santa will put Asian cookies in your bush. Yeah.
What's that in your bush?
It's my Asian cookies.
My Asian cookies.
Asian Santa.
You were a good boy this year, weren't
Really
you?
were. And look at that. There's pho in my glove compartment.
What?
Pho.
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to Michael. Hey, Michael. Good morning.
I like turtles.
Very good. Oh, hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
All right, what's up, bud?
I prefer the Lost Boys, you know, where they're all chanting Michael, but I'll go with...
You get what you get and you don't get upset.
Michael. All right, what's up, bud?
Anyway, well, I got two of them. One that I did for family members, and then one that a boss did at work, which was actually really awesome. The one for family was pretty simple. I went online, I located our last name, and of course for a couple friends I located their last name for street signs. Took a very nice picture, got a really nice gold-etched frame and like a 5x7 with that street sign with their last name, and gave them that framed. It's inexpensive. You do a nice print of it.
Okay.
And it's something that's a little different.
It's artsy and craftsy, and I'm sure there are a lot of places that can do similar things like that. I think that's a nice idea. That's something that's probably going to take some time to get done in time.
Yeah.
Not unless you just take a street sign or a stop sign off, a legitimate one, and then you change it at home.
Well, I was lucky that, like, for example, I found our last name in Montgomery County. It was a 25-minute ride. Took the picture. I have a photo printer at home, just a regular inkjet. Printed out nice glossy photos, and then went to one of the Michaels and got a nice frame.
Yeah,
all right.
That's nice.
Yeah, why didn't you go in the cover at night and just steal the sign altogether?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that, but I don't like jail too much. But anyway, the other thing was what a boss did for all of us. She literally went to the dollar store, got 1 million of these dollar frames, and got a nice paper from Staples. Got a whole bunch of candy bars and literally had it printed out on these papers that said, break it in case of emergency, and taped the candy bars to that paper and frame them.
There you go. It's
That's cute.
It's an incredibly cheap gift with a lot of thought behind it, so people can go,
exactly.
wow, that
All right.
if that cost you $5, I'd be stunned.
All right, thank you, Michael. I appreciate it.
Have a good day, guys.
You too,
Have a
bud.
good holiday.
All right, some interesting ideas. I don't know if we'll have time to do that again sometime before it's up because we're doing Christmas Miracle tomorrow, and then we're back for one day. But
our schedule is really booking up fast.
So I'm sure on our YouTube channel there are probably people sharing ideas right now as well. If you want to check that, the YouTube stream.
Santa's got to go.
Okay, sorry, Santa, but
Santa's upset.
We do have.
I need you to stop talking.
We do have to wrap it up, but no, I'm glad we did this. There's some really good ideas in there. I like the masterclass thing. I like the zoo subscriptions and with memberships.
Yes.
Marissa, is there a good way where this conversation will continue? Is that going to be on?
Or that we can
Penthouse Forum?
Yeah, Penthouse Forum, Steve, is number one. That might take a little while for us to publish, though.
Okay.
So in the meantime, we'll get a blog going on Facebook and hop on the YouTube stream. And
Love it.
Nice.
Everywhere Preston and Steve are, the conversation is.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Marissa, and thank you for the calls. We do appreciate that. I want to take a break, but I would like to give away it's Tailgate Tuesday. We had the Primo and Michelob Ultra prize pack. And I'll take caller number 17. You get the MMR Tailgate Tuesday prize pack. It's a $100 Primo Hoagies gift card and a case of Michelob Ultra.
What?
You have to be at least 21, but we'll take the 17th caller. And we will we'll set you up with that 215-263 WMMR. And if you're watching the game with some friends this week, score big with Primo Hoagies. It's not just a hoagie, it's a Primo. And the superior light beers, Michelob Ultra, containing only 95 calories, 2.6 carbs. Michelob Ultra produces a light citrus aroma and crisp, refreshing finish. So caller 17, it's yours. When we come back, Tom Papa on the show. Stay with us.
93.3 WMMR.
This film Knives Out, which is star-studded, looks really, really cool. Please welcome writer and director Ryan Johnson.
Thank you.
Hey, Ryan, how are you?
I'm doing great, Preston. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. We're excited about this.
Tremendously.
We're fans of the murder mystery, the whodunits, and all that, and you just don't see them that often. And
this style, because in the vein of Agatha Christie, and in the vein of 12 Little Indians, Murder on the Orient Express, the Hitchcock, that sort of stuff. And when they're done well, there's nothing like them. They just totally bring you in.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite genres, man. Like I grew up reading Agatha Christie's books. I grew up reading like the movies based on them, and it's so much like everybody loves a good murder mystery, like a good whodunit, you know?
Oh, absolutely. And what also is one of the few that allows for great ensemble work.
Yes. Yeah. You got like a rogues gallery of suspects.
Yeah.
The idea with this movie was let's do a star-studded cast. It's kind of like old school like that. Let's have it be so like everyone who pops up on screen, you're like, oh, it's that person.
Let me rattle off the names, okay, for those who may not be familiar. Christopher Plummer, Daniel Craig, Chris Evans, Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Shannon, Toni Collette, Don Johnson, who's been doing some great stuff.
The Watchmen.
Yeah.
Frank Oz, even.
Yeah, we got Frank in there.
Awesome.
Christopher Plummer.
The
great Christopher Plummer.
The legend, yeah.
And it's exactly, also you get a chance to, with a cast like that, and Jamie Lee Curtis, I think, I remember when I first saw the original Murder on the Orient Express, and that actually got me reading Agatha Christie. You can high concept characters a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. They're just on the verge of caricature. You can really, and that's the thing with this. It's a fun movie, and the cast, all of these stars, they just showed up ready to play. They're having a blast,
I love Daniel Craig. And Chris Evans looks to be.
He's playing a jerk. He's playing a real jerk.
And savoring. Everyone seems to say Michael Shannon is super intense, and yet he gets to.
Oh, he's having fun. Daniel Craig. If you just know him from the Bond movies, you would think he's a really serious, intense guy. He is so much fun in real life. He's like a blast, and he's having a ball in this movie.
So what's it like? I would imagine you have scenes where everybody's in it at the same time.
Those are my favorite ones.
What's that got to be like? That where in between takes where these people are just kind of it's got to be fun.
It was a party, man.
Yeah.
And also, we shot in a house in Massachusetts. It's like in a murder mystery mansion, but we were in like a real house. And so everyone liked each other, and in between takes, people wouldn't like go back to their trailers and get on their cell phones. They would all go down in the basement of this house, like around the pool table, and hang out.
Exactly what you want.
It was like summer camp for movie stars. It was great. It was really fun. So, and I think you can see on screen how much fun everyone's having.
The conceit is a celebrated writer, 85 years old, I guess.
Plummer,
he's having a birthday. The family's a little disenfranchised. He wants to bring them together, reunite them. And in classic fashion, he ends up dead.
Yep.
And and then you have your but all the tropes that should be there are there. You know.
Yeah. In a lot of ways, it's very traditional, exactly. But then it also throws some curveballs at you. And the big thing it does, a lot of times when you see Agatha Christie adaptations, I love them dearly, but they're period pieces.
Yeah.
This is set today. It's modern, and all the characters are modern types, and so it's very much updated for 2019.
And you're inherently you have a good sense of humor, and you see it permeate all your work. And I think a lot of times people forget that the original Agatha Christie stuff and the original Hitchcock always had a sense of humor.
Oh, yeah.
I remember there's a scene in Frenzy, the movie Frenzy, where they're sitting having a meal, and the meal is supposed to be analogous to the and it's just funny. And all that stuff works, and that makes it even more, to see.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, and Poirot, Christie's Detective Poirot. When Peter Ustinov, he's my favorite Poirot.
I think you're right.
Back in the day, and he got the clownishness of him.
I think Albert Finney was a little hard to understand.
I love him. He's going all out, man. But I think Branagh's Poirot is terrific.
Yeah.
But Ustinov and David Suchet is terrific. Ustinov is my favorite, though. And there's something funny about they're having fun with these characters.
Oh yeah.
Well, Steve had mentioned a movie the other day that I loved, and I've run into very few few people who remember it, but was Murder by Death. Do you remember?
Oh God, yeah, of course.
Such a hilarious movie. Now it's a little more slapstick, you know.
Yeah. Neil Simon wrote it. It's like it's more like Clue. It's more like a parody,
right? And he was a fan. He was a fan of that. So so you know, your one of your works, which I love, is Brick, which is everyone always says a Dashiell Hammett sort of vibe to it, with the sharp dialogue and everything. I mean, this is great stuff that doesn't get exercised a lot.
Yeah, it's fun to go back. I mean, I don't know. These are genres that I grew up just like loving, you know. And so the idea is to get the essential pleasure of what everyone loves about them, but then, you know, hopefully throw some stuff at you that you haven't seen in them before too. So it feels a little, you know, it feels like you are also on a ride and you're not quite sure what's going to happen next.
And the story written by you?
Yeah.
And so this is a completely original.
Yeah, this is an original whodunit. Yeah.
Okay, so do you start at the end and work your way back?
I start way zoomed back. I start just thinking about the shape of the whole thing.
Okay.
But I need to have that. I need to have the whole thing. I couldn't start writing at the beginning and find my way through. I need to have the whole shape in my head before I sit down.
I think you would have to. And there's a certain, the people who have done it the best, I think, approach it that way.
Yeah.
Because you know, it allows you to keep tagging things on, you know?
And
MacGuffins and all that.
Well, when you get to the end of a good murder mystery, you know, and you have the scene, one of my favorite types of scenes in all of fiction, where the detective lays the whole thing out, like in the library.
Yes,
which we have a really good one of those. It's like, and with that, you have to have laid the groundwork, because it's only satisfying if you feel like, oh yeah, that thing. Oh yeah, if you recognize each of them and it's paying something off.
Did you have someone fact check and make sure that what you did was legitimate?
You know who was the best at that on set? Chris Evans. He would bust my balls, man. He would come up in between every take and like, I was just noticed this, and then every time my heart would clench up because I was like, oh no, he caught me, and then I realized, oh no, it's because of this, and I would explain to him.
Right.
I got away with it with him.
That's a sign of a good mystery, because
you gotta check out.
Wait a minute, and no, you know what I mean?
Out.
I love it, and the critical response has been sensational, and that's got to make you feel good when you invest time in something you love. Not that it's everything, but it's something.
You know, I'll tell you, the bigger thing is this is like a movie to be seen with an audience, and the audience it's been playing really well. It's been, you know, it gets big laughs, and then people are enjoying it. That to me is what's fun. So I'm psyched to show it tonight. You know?
Allow me to quote the Hollywood Reporter, which says, an ingeniously plotted, tremendously entertaining, and deviously irreverent crowd pleaser.
Well, that's it. Yeah,
that's what you want.
So it is playing tonight at the Philadelphia Film Festival. Do you know if there's any tickets available?
You know, I don't know. I think I just saw a tweet that they had like released a few more, so you might want to check their website and see.
Yeah, it's Philadelphia.org.
Opening for Thanksgiving. If you can't get, and that's those they wheel out what they believe to be the heavy hitters. For that, and so obviously. Relatively speaking, you're a younger filmmaker, you know.
God bless you, sir.
with the body of work, but you know, so obviously we're going to talk about the stuff and the Star Wars, universe that you're now in, and now you have your own trilogy that you're responsible for that has been, and this, if I'm not correct, tell me, so I can start weeping. But I think you have this potential, this new universe that you can create from the ground up that's in the same environment but removed.
Yeah. That's what's really exciting moving forward, because they've said with episode 9 that JJ is doing right now, which I'm so excited for. I cannot wait.
It looks phenomenal.
Oh God, that trailer just knocked me out. So I mean, that's going to be, they've said over and over, this is going to be the end of kind of this era of the movies.
And I think it's time. Honestly, I love. And I love even the second trilogy, the Lucas trilogy. Certainly, there are issues. Perhaps you've heard some of the buzz about what fans think. I think I commend you for taking on something like that, because you're damned if you do and damned if you don't.
I love the fans so much. I am a fan. That's the thing. I grew up as a Star Wars fan, and so all of the passion for it. I was in my 20s when the prequels came out, so both sides of the passion for Star Wars I've been plugged into always, and that's what's great about it. You know?
I commend you for agreeing to do it, like. Because you're such a fan, you're like, was there ever a thought of like, no, I can't do this?
No, I don't. I mean, it's just something that's so deep. You know, everyone is a Star Wars fan who like when those first movies came out. If you're like my age, like you saw them when you were like 5 and 6. It's so deep in your bones. It's something you love so dearly. And also the people who make these movies, and the producers and everything, and the talent. they're just the best people on the planet, and everyone is just working from such a pure place of love for what this thing is, you know. And so, no, man, I couldn't, you know. That's,
you had to. You had to let that purity guide. You know, at least you could have control over it.
The only thing you can do. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Is just follow kind of, you know, what you want to do.
So I want to ask you about ownership of movies, because people take the Star Wars universe very seriously, and I'm a Star Wars nerd through and through. But people also confuse opinions and facts all the time, and it bothers me, because if you have an opinion on a movie, that's not necessarily a fact about that movie, but people state them as if they are.
Yeah.
And I loved Last Jedi. There were so many layers to it that I think people are misunderstood, or they walked out of the theater with an opinion, and it's fine for them to have their opinion too. But what's your take on blowback or criticism or whatever? Does it bother you? Does it stick with you, or how do you interpret it?
Well, like I said, I got to come at it from, again, the perspective of being a Star Wars fan my whole life, and realizing that the passion for it, there are two sides to that. You know, the passion's going to land one way for some, and if you don't like something, that passion's going to apply back the other way, and there's no use. There's no, you know, you can't have one without the other, I guess. You know, people feel strongly about this stuff because they care about it so deeply. And people are going to respond to different things. Every fan is looking for something slightly different from a Star Wars movie. There's nothing that's going to...
And that's the general... I was in the theater on opening night for the original Star Wars, because I'm an old bastard. and I'd read the paperback book that was that before the movie came out, that had scenes that were not even shot for the movie. It's from Lucas's screenplay. And the movie was always intended to be a fun homage to the movie serials.
Yeah, it's Buck Rogers.
And that's it.
Yeah, man.
And it was supposed to be loving and fun.
Yeah.
But then as its own myth almost started to weigh it down, and people lost sight of just go have a good time.
Well, also, but the thing is, though, I feel like there is always an element, because it was that, but then, you know, with Empire, it dug a little bit deeper into the mythic stuff.
And that's one of the, you know.
That was a fish hook that like got us all, you know. Empire really shook it up from A New Hope in every single way. I mean, not just the big I Am Your Father twist, but tonally, and also in terms of how deep it went, in terms of digging into that kind of deeper mythological stuff, you know, the psychological stuff. So
and a classic second act.
Oh my God,
it doesn't 100%. End happy,
and really turns everything up onto its head, and then in a way that can be really satisfyingly resolved in the third one. You see where I'm going with
that? Well, you did some things in this movie that that we hadn't seen in any of the previous 7 movies, I should say. And one of them was using light speed as a weapon.
Well, although the first, I mean, in A New Hope, the first time they talk about light speed, what's the context they're talking about? And they're talking about you got to do your calculations right, or you'll run into something, and then it'll be a big mess.
But the blowback on that, and you know, the fans were like,
but I never quite understood that, because the thing is, that was the context that it was introduced in. So it's not like it physically can't happen. So the only argument I've really heard is we don't want to think about the fact that it can happen, because that complicates how we have to think about war in this world.
You would have to make calculations, and you had like shields and things to exactly for that. But I mean, it's your toy. You run with it. You know? It's like because no. So the 8-foot talking carpet, that's real. Relax.
I mean, it has to make sense within the context of the world.
And you're right.
But I feel like, you know, that I can stand behind. You know.
No, it was a mother effer of a scene.
Yeah, that scene. Come on.
It was, and the effects and all. It was great.
Speaking of fans, real quick, and I know you guys all have questions. Everybody's got their hands raised here. But now, I haven't gone back and watched The Last Jedi in a little while. But is that I think fans had a bunch of fun with the fight scene where Kylo and Rey, you know what I'm talking about? They used the different pieces of music. Did you happen to see those?
Yeah, that was really fun. Everyone started remixing it to different songs.
Our own Nick Murphy, who I introduced you to, he did a whole...
he did like a dozen of them.
He did a whole album. Some funny ones and some other ones that, like, you know, tonally absolutely made sense.
I love it.
I think he might have even used Firework from Katy Perry.
That's great. That's great.
I totally see that. Yeah, that's a blast, man.
You got to love that fans are having
Well, that's what... I mean, they take it and they make it their own, whether it's that or fan fiction or fan art, or, you know, people just take this stuff so personally. That's what's great about it, you know.
In A New Hope, Luke meets Leia via a hologram, and in The Last Jedi, Luke says goodbye to Leia via a hologram. Was that your idea?
Yeah, man. You got. I mean, the symmetry. You know, you're always looking for symmetry. If you can hit that sweet spot with symmetry, so that even if you don't, you know, the first time you watch a movie, you aren't thinking of it in those terms. When you step back and take a look at the whole thing laid out, you're like, oh, this rhymes with this, and this, it bookends this. Especially with something like Star Wars, you're always searching for those, you know, those things to lay in there.
Thank you for answering questions about it, because I know you're here to talk about Knives Out, and I can't wait to see that movie as well. But while we have a director of one of the Star Wars movies in the studio,
about Star Wars.
We lavish love on Knives Out as well. But I also have to ask you, Looper is an amazing film, and it also speaks to your ability to add. Remember watching that and go, wow, this is a really cool conceit. I'm thinking of like has a Harlan Ellison, Philip K. Dick sort of vibe to it. It's cool. It's jumping around. And then it gets you emotionally too, and you know when you're, and that's something that I think when you can do that in all this stuff where you can go down one path and phone it in, and then it becomes something where it gets you viscerally with the kid and what his future will be and how things have to be right. That to me was just such an amazing.
93.3 WMMR.
All right, thank you very much, Kathy. Our next guest has got a Netflix special that is available, and fortunately, I took a trip down to Florida. I was on a plane. I'm like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity to watch the new special. I did. I loved it.
You actually only watch Tom Papa when you're in the air.
You know what? I kid you not.
Yeah.
He's my favorite comedian.
Yeah.
We have a ton of them by here, and we made.
You chose wisely.
We made some great relationships over the years, but the person that speaks directly to where my life is right now is Tom Papa.
Yeah.
And we are happy to welcome him to the show right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Papa is joining us. Good morning, Tom.
I want the miracle tickets. I'm calling for the last two miracle tickets.
You're going to have to hang on, Tom.
Sorry, man.
They told me I was next, and there's two left, and I can get the miracle ticket.
They are highly coveted, Tom. Believe it or not, is a big event of the wrap up of the year, and it's very special to us because it is basically listener appreciation.
I'm not messing around. I know you don't have to sell it to me.
Well, you can come if you want. You're in New Jersey, right?
Yeah, I have a car.
You have a car?
All right, I know someone with a car.
All right. Tom, I love the new special. Congratulations. It's fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
No problem. And like I said, you're right in the zone for where I am in life, my age, my relationship, my family, all that stuff. It's now I don't have a pug. I know you go on about that, but and there are some special things about pugs I didn't know until Tom talks about it in the special.
You have to clean their faces, right? In a specific way, or am I incorrect on that? That they can get
You ever see that reality show, My 600-Pound Life?
Yes.
And you have to clean in the folds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pug's face.
It's very similar.
Tom, you're really a prolific comic, it seems like you're putting out like really quality specials on a very, very consistent basis, which is also like impressive because of what you do on a daily basis. You have your show and
the bread.
I mean, you're a busy person, so I don't even know how you have that time to work the material out the way you do.
I don't know either. It definitely takes a lot of effort, especially because I don't want to suck.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be like, oh, that one was good, but the last one was really good. I want to keep getting better, so I just have to. Write it and just go out and tour and keep honing it. And I think it gets easier because you know what you're doing a little bit more.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like I know how to edit the right way. I know what it takes. I know when it's at a point where people aren't going to throw tomatoes at me.
You've surpassed that.
Yeah. I've gotten past that. I haven't been hit with a tomato in a good 7 months.
7 months.
Tom, I follow you on Instagram, and a lot of what my Instagram feed is these days is one comedian showing up on another comedian's podcast or show. And so yesterday I was scrolling through Instagram, and I saw you on Pete Holmes's podcast, and I love Pete as a comedian as well. And you told a little bit of a story about you encountering a ghost, and I was curious as to the validity of you actually seeing a ghost on your Nest camera.
No, it's legit. I can send you I'll text you the picture.
Yes, we want to see it.
Yeah, like I have photo evidence of a ghost in my
in my office wearing a trench coat and carrying something that looks like a gun from the 1940s.
You sure it just wasn't a private dick?
Yeah, it really is. Dick Tracy is haunting my house.
So that let me ask you: had you been a believer, an entertainer of things paranormal prior to this?
Yeah, I'm open to it. I have premonitions, and I feel like there's something there. But I'm not closed off for sure. But I'm also not a kook. I don't run around saying I see things all the time. And I just had this Nest camera, and it was in my office, and it was the first time I had it set up. So I went on the road. I'm in Denver, and I get an alert on my phone, and it was the first time that happened. I turn it on, and there's my dog in my office. I'm like, oh, wow, this is such a cool thing. And I said to my opening act, that would be an awesome beginning to a horror movie. You get an alert, and then you hit it on your phone, and there's someone looking back in the camera.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that was cool. And then all of a sudden, bling, I get another alert.
Right.
And I turn it on, and there's Dick Tracy standing in my office.
All right, so listen, I want to believe, and we have done our fair share of haunted investigations. And Preston and I were always in the other room when people saw something. But we did have one thing that is very definable. We were at the Eastern State Penitentiary. We were up in the area where they would hold people that would be shifted up to be, to be put to death. At various other prisons, and we were in there, and they were doing this EVP. They were doing this recording with a special recorder. A question was asked: "Do you want us here?" Preston, we were in this room. We would have heard this had it have been on the recorder, and on playback, you clearly hear with the room plate sort of reverb. You hear no, and remember, and I mean honestly, that is as close as we've come to something. That is otherworldly. So, yeah, I'm open to it. I think there's a level of hubris involved in not thinking that there's something that exceeds our realm of comprehension.
Yeah, and look, I mean, that kind of matches up because the penitentiary, an awful place where people are experiencing horrible things, and then my office where I have to write my comedy every day, another terrifying place to be.
The sorrow seeps into the walls. The sadness.
Yeah.
It becomes.
I'll text it to you. I'll text you the picture.
Yeah. All right.
And there was no one else in the house. There was it's kind of like up on the second floor. It's not like a busy street. There was nothing going on. There's no reason we should have had Dick Tracy running through. And then shortly after that, my wife was in the laundry room and thought my daughter was there and turned and there was nobody there. And she saw out of the corner of her eye something. So we're definitely being haunted. Yeah. But it doesn't feel menacing.
All right, that's good.
Laundry scares my kids away too, so don't worry about it.
They've been in there. And
Tom, speaking of texting, and I was mildly hurt by this, but it was on your birthday, and I sent a video that we were doing a live broadcast with a huge audience, and we all wished you a happy birthday, and I sent it to you, and I don't think you ever saw it.
You never saw it?
I don't think I saw it either. Where did you send it?
We had a whole Camp Out for Hunger tent full of people wish you a happy birthday, and it was of paramount importance to Preston that you get that message.
My favorite comedian.
Yeah.
I'm going to resend it to you right now.
Does it say delivered?
It says red.
Maybe next time don't send it to Jim Gaffigan.
I will. You know what happened? I
might have the wrong contact.
Here it's all being pulled together. He's got this otherworldly entity living in his home.
Sure.
Maybe that thing received the message.
That's true. They do screen a lot of calls.
They do.
No, you know what, Tom, I tell these guys all the time, and sometimes I do it, but we work on, completely different hours than everybody else. Yeah. So by 7 a.m., we're like, oh, let me text so-and-so and wish him a happy birthday. But you know what I mean? No, who knows where you are? It could be 4 a.m.
I'm going to send it to him right now.
All right, this will make you well up, and you'll feel fixed in the universe once you see this amount of love coming at you.
No, you won't.
Oh, I like it. Well, thank you for doing that.
Oh, no problem.
I appreciate it.
And my ghost appreciated it.
Do you remember your birthday? Was it anything special this year, or just kind of came and went?
No, I remember just sitting there wondering why I wasn't getting any text.
Yeah.
That friggin' Preston, right? I'm his favorite comedian. I want to ask, because this is cool, and I'd seen this in some of the trades. You are working with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon? Or has this finished? Has this movie finished? It's a movie about Nike, and you're playing Portland Trailblazers executive Stu Inman, it says.
Yeah, it's about Michael Jordan when he joined Nike, before Nike was Nike and before Michael Jordan was the legend that he became.
Right.
And I play the Portland Trailblazers guy who passed on Michael Jordan.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oops.
But it was great. They invited me in. They're the coolest. I've worked with them before, and they asked me to do a part, and I got to come in for a day, and Justin Bateman's in the movie. Ben's in the movie, Matt, and it's very cool. I'm not sure when it comes out. Probably, I guess at this point it's going to be the beginning of next year.
You're a good actor, and I get a feeling that it's sort of a side thing that you like to dabble in. Is it? Stand-up obviously is paramount to you. That's what you work on the most. But is this something that were the right project that would take you off the road for quite a while? Come along, would you jump into it?
I've actually been thinking about that. It's like just you asking. Look, it's all fun, and stand-up is really my love, and that's definitely where I'm at. But there's nothing cooler when somebody says, "Hey, you have a new movie coming out with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck." That's cool. I'm not even into the work. I just like hearing that. So I want to do more of that, so I hear more of that.
Right.
So, well, speaking of Matt Damon, let me ask you then, because on the cover of your book, there's a quote from Matt Damon talking about your book. Is that legit, or?
Yeah. I mean, Matt, and Look, if you could go to acting school and you can really study and you can go do the Meisner method and all that kind of stuff, or you could just become friends with famous people.
That's the way to do it.
Because the quote from Matt Damon says, "I like when Tom writes words and puts them in a row. It's much better than listening to him say random words." Buy this book, Matt Damon.
Yeah. Now, look, when you become friends with famous people, it doesn't mean they're not going to bust your ball.
Yeah, which is clearly the case here. But you're right about that friendship thing. I mean, that a lot of people don't know that Orson Welles, he was just friends with Don Amici, and that's how he became famous.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's look, that's why do you think I'm calling you guys right now?
Yeah, we're not going to be your tickets. Sorry.
No, obviously not. I thought I was getting 2 Miracle tickets, and I'm going with Jack Spot.
So is this your third movie with Matt Damon? Because there's The Informant,
Behind the Candelabra,
and now this Jordan movie.
Yes, it is the third one. I feel like there might be something else, but yeah, I think so. Oh, and I did a TV pilot with him. But the third movie.
We're massive fans of Behind the Candelabra, and that is. By the way, my dad can quote huge portions of that movie. I went to visit him in over the summer, and that movie looms because he loved the style of Las Vegas that Evel Knievel. That Liberace was Evel Knievel.
Evel Knievel was part of it.
But in that time frame, and so the movie is just so brilliant in the way it captures that.
It's the coolest, and like the biggest thing was being on the set with Michael Douglas and just hearing his voice is so iconic from growing up listening to him in all of those films, and all of a sudden you're just standing there talking to him. Did I ever tell you that story when him and I were on set and we weren't mic'd or anything? It was like a scene with, some other people, and we were background. And when we kept going, they kept reshooting and doing more takes. And at one point, Michael Douglas as Liberace, he's all in like this giant sequence outfit. He just turns to me because he knows they can't hear us. He goes, "Wow, they're doing a lot of takes. I really have to take a dump."
That's great. Oh, that should be in the movie. Here's something that just occurred to me, and I'm just throwing stuff at you. But if you do have a sort of a fascination with the paranormal, one of my great Joyce is watching those Saturday night. There are tons of these shows. Have you ever entertained the notion of doing a reality thing based on that, or besides obviously you do the the baking and all of that stuff? Would something like that interest you?
What do you mean, like a ghost hunting show?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like everybody and their brother's doing one, so I think
it seems like it's the easiest show to make. Apparently, all you need is a camera and be able to dim the lights, and then you shake it and say, "Oh, I felt cold. There might be something here."
That's exactly what they do. The one on the Travel Channel with this guy Zach Baggins. They are on their way to the site, and the guys are having experiences in the 7-Eleven on the way. It's like it is so forced, but I think you might end a level of gravitas to it.
Well, mine, yeah, you're right, but they don't want what I have, which is proof of a ghost.
Yeah.
I actually show it.
Yeah.
Once you do that, the show's over.
All right. Well, we're going to take a look at that video and see, if your ghost is chilling to us as well.
Yeah, I want to see that.
I'll text it to Casey as soon as we're done. I'm going to text it to him.
Tom, I love your Instagram account. You obviously you promote your shows and things like that, but there is a steady stream of clips from the stand-up specials you've had through the years, and I love it because it gives me just a nice little quick bite of some comedy that kind of helps the day move along. Are you picking those? You have someone that's handling all of that? Because I know you probably do the other photos of your dog and yourself and bread and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm busy chasing ghosts.
Right.
I do it with a person who does I can't do the tech part of it, so they'll tell me what joke do you want, and I'll tell them, and then they cut it and put the caption on it and stuff and put it up in between, and then it gives me time to take more pictures of my pug.
There you go.
It would seem impossible to pull off. I mean, a lot of this you need to have someone that you can go to take care of it. It's just they're between
a lot of work.
Obviously with your other shows and with Fortune and all that other stuff. I mean, a lot of people don't realize when they start to do this stuff, when they're creating content, that what seems a simple thing is actually pretty elaborate, and that's why people make it their entire occupation.
Yeah, no, there's a lot to it. And when I was doing it on my own, you can do it, but then time slips by.
Yes.
Because you're busy and you're just running around with your family or whatever, and you don't want to be on your phone all the time. And all of a sudden a week goes by and you haven't posted a clip. And especially now with the new special, it's like you want people to see it. You want to draw people in. It's like if I was handling it, there's, no one would watch it.
Are you? Do your kids dabble in social media? Because to my kids, I'm a total buffoon. I don't know how to operate all the things. Yeah, I've turned into that person. I've turned into that old person.
Yeah, there's anytime they abuse me so much with my ineptitude that anytime I'm even by myself and I'm walking around with my phone with the flashlight on, I just hear my kids going, "Dad."
Oh my God.
That is one of the.
It's demeaning.
And you'll see it sometimes. You'll see it if you're in an airport. I saw it when the last time I was in the airport. A guy's clearly, in his 80s or whatever, walking along, and in his pocket, the light from the phone is on, and that's just a gimme.
Yeah, I call it the dad light.
The dad light.
So I was at my daughter's Christmas concert the other day, actually two of them within the past couple of weeks, and right before both concerts started, somebody gets up onto the stage and says, "Please silence your phones." And my wife, she nudges me. She goes, "Make sure your phone's on silent." I go, "It's always on silent." Whenever the phone goes off in the middle of the one, it's old people.
Yeah.
It's always old people. It's never the young guy.
It's my jitterbug.
Yeah, it's always grandma.
Yeah.
I swear. I'm why are you even warning me? This is never me.
It's Debbie about the baby.
I love when an old guy's phone goes off and it surprises you. It's like, am I hearing Metallica right now?
Yeah. Does it still happen when you're working? Do you hear people as you're up in the middle of a routine?
Honestly, not as much as you would think. It was in the early days when people were just getting them and they didn't know how to use them. That was a big thing. But what I'm seeing now that's more aggravating, everyone runs into it, is people FaceTiming and watching videos without any AirPods without any earphones, just playing it out loud on their speaker, like in coffee shops or the airport. That thing is really, I feel like we should be allowed to we hit those people with water guns.
Right. It should be legal.
My wife and I were out to dinner, and there was a person in the booth next to us who was sitting there eating their meal with their phone and having a full-on back-and-forth combo, and I was just getting so irritated.
And I'm sure they believe, well, I could be sitting here with this person. There wouldn't be a difference, but there is a difference.
There is a difference.
There is a difference. And we should be, if you're in that situation, you should be allowed to then participate.
Yes.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, I thought
just join in the conversation. That's a great idea.
Yeah, you should be allowed. You should be able to chime in and be like, I think you should leave her. She sounds like a whore.
I think that's right.
Oh, I love that.
Just turn around. Since they're pulling you in, it's like years ago. And to me, it's the extension of the Nextel phone, which prompted everyone to walk around like Captain Kirk with a communicator. And that, yeah, so this is that. And it's just as annoying, if not more.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's an awful situation. Unless you're watching my special, in which case, I feel like you should play it extra loud and walk around.
Well, honestly, it's you're at a whole other level, and so Preston has chosen wisely for his favorite comedian, and your output's phenomenal. Are you going to take some time off for the holidays?
I am. I have some time off, which I'm very excited. We're going back home today, and I get some time off. But they just asked me to do Colbert on January 3rd, so that means I've got to go to the clubs to make sure that I have some funny things to say to him. So it's kind of, I really was going to just detach and not do anything for about 3 weeks, but now I got to kind of go back to it.
I'm sorry. Can you explain that process again? Because I never realized or even thought that you would have to. You're just so good at what you do that you just, pop on there and you be fine. But you have to go and warm up a little bit.
No, you don't want to just be on there like just answering questions and, because you run the risk of being boring. So I'm doing panel, but it's really a stand-up set. So I have to get all the jokes ready.
Well, and that's so, and a lot of those, I think every one of them does the pre-interview and all that sort of stuff, correct?
Yeah. And, I don't really try and give up too much information because I want it to be somewhat of a surprise, but I do want it to be loaded with jokes, you know, so I don't want to, and that's the difference, when people, it's all preparation. The more you prepared you are, the funnier you'll be.
That was something with Carson and with Letterman, and that those guests that did that, they appreciated it so much, because they understand the importance of helping their show be better.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But I mean, the best appearance is when you get on there and the host hardly has to say anything. You know.
Oh man,
and you just go.
Yeah, a few weeks ago, Martin Short was on Fallon and did that type of thing, and I was just rolling. And if you can make that work, it's the best. It's so entertaining.
Yeah, it's the best. But I'm really psyched to get home. I haven't been home for a bit, and I'm just gonna lay under the tree. Watch my train village and
so
cookies until I pop.
Do you walk in and first thing you do, put down your stuff and go kiss the ghost?
Yeah. I just wait for him to come whisper in my ear in the middle of.
Hi, honey, I'm home. So, Tom, I hadn't set up my trains underneath the tree for years, and since the last time I've done that, I've gotten 2 dogs. So I finally set them up this year. Turns out my one dog hates the trains. Just can't stand it.
I can recommend something.
Yeah,
honestly. And Tom, you take heed of this if you have any issue with that at the base of the tree. They came out a couple of years ago. I bought it. It is a tree. It is a train set that sits midway up the tree, so that it is off the floor, but you still get the joy of the train on the tree. Have you seen this?
I have seen it, but I had a better. I saw an even better product where you drop the dog off at a far-off destination and never see it again.
Okay.
That was one of the options they left out. Yeah.
I didn't know you were such a dog lover.
Well,
and then you're all the people in the train village rejoice.
No, Well, Tom's saying he's going to take it to a farm where he can run around with other dogs.
And play.
I love
Give it a
that
better
the
life.
Train Village has a little party. Oh my God, that's the best. By the way, I want to recommend to people Tom's book for a holiday gift. You're Doing Great is what it's called. It's piggybacked on the last special,
Wonderful.
which is wonderful.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great. It's a good bathroom book.
It also will make you feel better about
Yes.
yourself. It make
Agreed.
in all the humor and laughter. It is actually an insightful way to approach life.
Yep.
And if you want to, if you bought that book already, my third book is available for pre-sale already. Called "We're All in This Together, So Make Some Room."
Okay.
And, if you go on Amazon and stuff, you can see the cover for that book. You won't get it for a couple of months, but it's already up there.
So you're officially now the Stephen King of comedy books. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. A creepy guy who
was hit by a car.
You got a freaking ghost in your office. So.
Do you?
Yes.
Do you even nap ever?
I meditate.
Okay.
So I can do it. So I can do it at 20 minutes, no more than 20 minutes.
But you have to be under a Christmas tree when you do it, right?
Yes, with cookies on my face.
Is it mindful meditation?
It's TM.
Oh, it's transcendental. Okay. Yeah, it's deep.
I've been doing it for years, and it just gives you more energy in the day. It's like you just kind of like run out of energy, and we all do, and you just kind of like start to deplete, and you do that, and it's kind of like giving your nervous system a little recharge, like a reboot, like restarting your phone in a way.
That's the only way that I cannot take a nap, never have been able to. When I do, I end up waking up much more enervated, and it's actually counterproductive. However, mindful meditation has a much more beneficial effect when I do it. And we have a guy who is a hypnotist and therapist, and he gave me my own tailored meditation to do, and it works very well.
No, it's better than a nap for sure.
Yes.
If you're, it is. I mean, sometimes your body needs to just completely shut down and fall asleep, and that happens. But as far as like rejuvenating yourself, there's nothing better.
That should be the tag for your Netflix special. It's better than a nap. What a day. Nice. All right, Tom, it is great to hear from you, sir. And we'll point people in the direction to Netflix to watch What a Day and to pre-order the book and all things Tom Papa for the holidays.
He's the best.
Yes, Casey?
And don't forget to send me that text. I want to see this ghost.
I want to see the ghost.
I want to see this home
All right, I'm
intruder.
going to send it to you. It's going to be haunted.
And check and make sure that you got my text. I sent it over already, all right?
And also entertain the notion that it just might be that caretaker who is running,
who runs the
just like
the
every
amusement
Scooby-Doo
park.
cartoon.
And you got 5 days to send me a Christmas present.
Well, thank you guys. It's always great spending time with you, and I hope you have a kick-ass show tomorrow. It sounds amazing, and have a great holiday.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right, there he goes. Tom.
He's the best.
Absolutely. All right. We have a break to take, and this is a perfect opportunity to give away our last pair of tickets for Christmas Miracle tomorrow morning. So let's take caller number 13. 93.3 WMMR. 13th caller, you get tickets to the Christmas Miracle, and you get to join us tomorrow morning, and I think you know the rest. Miller Lite Ugly Sweater Edition. Wear your ugly sweater. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
As well. You start to build an ensemble of people you go to, and there are people that are comfortable. Who do you consider your go-to, people now?
Well, I haven't worked with him for a few movies, but Joe Gordon-Levitt is one of my good friends.
awesome,
and
man.
he's so good, man.
Yeah.
He's such a good person. He's such a lovely, wonderful guy. And I managed this Last Jedi. He wasn't. We got him in there as a voice, alien voice.
Okay, I was
Knives
wondering.
Out. We had to get him in there as a voice too.
Oh, that's
because he
great.
wasn't available. So you keep your ears peeled. He's in there. So
You guys are friends.
yeah, we're buddies.
Okay,
yeah.
because he's in a scene of a movie. It's one one of my favorite theatrical scenes ever, and it's a movie called 500 Days of Summer.
Oh yeah,
and it's when the Hall & Oates song comes on. To me, and there's a Han Solo thing in it as well. But I would love to meet that guy. He is a good friend
He's
of yours.
He's a sweetheart, man. He is so cool.
Will you tell him that I love him?
Let's call him right now. Let's get him on speaker.
Whenever I hear that song, I bounce around like he does when he's walking down the street. Like I want to do what he did in that movie.
Yeah, no, we made the very first movie I made was called Brick. It was like a weird high school noir, and he was in it
twice today. I haven't seen it.
Oh well.
Oh, did you shoot that at the high school you went to?
I did. Yeah. I shot at San Clemente High School down in Orange County.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's got to be cool to come back with a film crew to the school that you.
It was cool, but we were really low budget. We were like micro budget with that movie.
Still.
So I think we were more annoying to them. Than, I'm surprised that they didn't kick us out before we were done filming.
Well, Knives Out, honestly, is I cannot wait to see it. It looks phenomenal, and so I assume, have you done the full premiere route yet, or this is one cog in the premiere?
Well, Philly is not a cog.
I know.
This is the main engine of the whole tour.
Thank you for saying that.
We premiered at Toronto, and I just came from the Chicago Film Festival, and we're here tonight, and I'm psyched to see it with like I said, man, this is a crowd movie. This is a crowd-pleasing movie. It's so much fun to be in the theater when a big crowd is watching this.
Love it.
Can I ask what the title refers to, or is it a plot point that we need to wait for?
No, it's. I mean, sort of. There are knives in it, but it's. I mean, the Radiohead song is what I kind of stuck it in my head years ago. Amnesiac, I think it's on, and Knives Out.
Okay.
And so that phrase just always seemed like a cool turn of phrase to me. It seemed like a good murder mystery.
To me, it always indicates.
And the knives are out.
Your knives are out. Your knives are. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody's got it. Yeah.
Which definitely applies to the family in this movie.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can I jump in real quick? I just want to ask you, because I know that you do have your fingerprint on the Breaking Bad universe, and you directed a couple of episodes of the final season.
Yeah.
I watched El Camino, and then I was like, oh, God, I got to go back and watch the final 2 seasons. So I did that, and then I watched El Camino again. So you directed Ozymandias, and I got to ask, is that the episode where Walt calls Skylar and has the phone conversation with her?
Yeah.
That is like some of the finest acting I've ever witnessed in my entire life, because he is saying things to her
without saying them.
But he's also on so what you're hearing through the phone is what he's saying, but emotionally he's not saying those words. And so can you explain that better than what I just said?
No, you put it just beautifully, man.
Okay.
And Cranston, I mean, that's the explanation. It's one word. It's Cranston. That dude is just
Cranston.
So you didn't have anything to do with that?
No, man. No, honestly, you show up and you do your work as a director, which is on set to be an audience for the actor, and so you watch it. If you feel something, you say it to them. If you feel, try this, try that. The truth is, though, especially at Breaking Bad, I mean, the writing is so good. Those actors, as a director, it makes your job so easy. You get to show up on set and just roll with it and try and maximize it.
Real quick, how many takes for that particular scene?
I don't know. I think it was freezing that night, so I don't think many. I think it was maybe 3 or 4. And then Anna Gunn, Skylar's side of the call. It's interesting because I remember with Yoda, with Mark and Frank Oz, Mark Hamill and Frank Oz.
Yeah.
Frank telling me, everyone talks about the expressiveness of the puppet and the performance of Yoda, and he said 90% of it is Mark believing, listening.
Yeah, and I can believe that. Yeah,
and it's a weird analogy, but what Anna is doing on the other side, the amount of that call where we're on her face and hearing her realize what her husband is doing, that's as much of the scene as
and for that, was she in the next room? Was she actually on the phone with him while he was doing it, or was you doing a playback? Or?
No, we had him there, so he was obviously we shot them completely separately, but then we have both, and vice versa. She was on set, kind of on the phone with him there for his side of it, and then we were in the house shooting. It was a totally different day, but he was there for her side of it, so they were both there for each other.
Okay,
that's wild. And by the way, you should probably put some ointment on those fanboy burns you just got.
Yeah. Those could get infected.
That's all right. I'm scabbed over. It's all right. I got the scabs.
All right. Thank you very much, Ryan Johnson. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. Now, let's do the B5.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, so let's start with this. Smashing Pumpkins are going to kick off their Bright No So Shiny reunion tour in July, and the band's Billy Corgan has now shared a proposed list of songs.
Are you doing
music news?
Son of a bitch.
That's amazing.
I was thinking,
I thought it was maybe
weird happen at the music news, or
grab the wrong folder.
Maybe he found a king cobra in his car or something, or.
Look, I'm just on autopilot right now. Okay?
That's exactly what it is, right?
You're at home right now watching The Walking Dead, aren't you?
I am. I haven't seen that episode yet, damn it. Oh, man.
That was great. Thank you. Hey, just sneak preview, guys.
I love the music, though. That wouldn't be a tip-off.
It didn't even register with me at all. A man dubbed America's most wanted deadbeat dad.
Let's just call him Billy Corgan.
Has been arrested.
There were a number of missed calls in my life that actually led to opportunities, and you always have to keep your radar open to the fact that there are things in play that you haven't even seen yet that will reveal themselves to you. You just have to be receptive to it.
It all starts with this girl giving me the clap.
The clap.
That's where it started.
You were saved by a social disease.
It all starts with that.
All right, so tell.
This girl gave me the clap. I dated her for 5 years. She was my girlfriend. She slept with my best friend, and then she gave me the clap. I remember going to the doctor, and he was like, "Yo, she's a hoe." By the way, this is.
Is that a medical term?
No, this is. He used the more formal RE. I don't know if you can say it on. WHORE. I don't know if you can say that on.
Whore.
Yeah. Oh, if you want, like an idiot, I just spelled it. Yeah. Like you can't spell it. So he was like, your girlfriend's a whore, and I was like, what? By the way, this is when you thought doctors were like older. He's probably just 27 years old.
Yeah.
Like he's just a kid,
dude.
And he was like, she's a whore, man. And he said, I go, no, you got that wrong. He goes, let me ask you a question. When you go to a bar, do you and your junk split up to cover more territory? And I was like, excuse me? And he goes, do you? And I said, no. And he goes, then I'm telling you right now, if you're telling me you haven't slept with anyone else, just her, she gave it to you. She's a whore. She's sleeping around. That's how you get it. You just sleep around.
Yeah.
Oh
and I was like, that's impossible. I want the test. And he was like, I can just give you the medicine. You don't need the test. And I went, no, I don't. I must not have it. She's not a whore. And he's like, all right, I'll give you the test. Q-tip.
Yep.
Yes. I remember saying, brace yourself. And I held on to the thing, and he did it, and I was like, she's a whore. She's a whore. And then I went to her, and I confronted her, and I said, yo, I have the clap. You gave it to me. And she's like, no, that's impossible. And then I said what the doctor said. Let me tell you something. When I go to the bar, me and my junk don't split up to cover more territory, okay? And so, but if that girl hadn't done that, because I told that girl I wanted to be a comedian. I laid in bed the morning of the Miami-Florida State game, and I said, I think I want to be a comedian. Because right after Russia, I'd gone to Europe, and I backpacked, and I ran into a group called The State. I ran into them in Greece. Yeah. We all partied in Greece, and I met them, and I said, how do I get into comedy? And David Wayne said, just write all the time, write down jokes. Anything funny, write it down. And that whole summer, I said, I was funny, traveling, everyone liked me, thought I could make people laugh, and I was like, I'm going to be a comedian. Came home, first week back, have sex with her, laying in bed, Florida State-Miami game. I say, I think I want to be a comedian. And she was an actress, still is. And she was like...
not somebody we would know, is it?
No.
Okay. Regional theater, stuff like that?
Yeah. And so...
That's what we're calling porn these days.
She said, she goes, oh, honey, you're stupid funny. You're not smart funny. To be a comedian, you have to be smart funny, and you're stupid funny.
Wow.
So you cannot
And this is from the whore.
This is from the whore.
Oh.
And so I was like, oh, okay. Never tell anyone your dreams. I get the clap. I then break up with her over the period of you know how those breakups go over 6 months. Yeah. And then I start dating this girl who's, by the way, I love her, but just an oblivious idiot. Yeah. Like I told her I wanted to be a comedian. She's like, you should do it. Like just invest everything in it. Why wouldn't you? Right? Oh my God. And I just ran into her last week in wherever I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, and she's like, I'm so happy you followed your dreams. And I was like, I am so glad you did not see the pitfalls in life that everyone else sees.
Yeah.
Like she was just like, do it. Why wouldn't you? I think I want to be a shot girl. And I was like,
dream big.
She went to New York to be a model, and she's attractive, but she's not like a model.
Yeah.
But I remember
not a New York model.
And she just walked in, and she's like, I want to be a model. And I was like, man, I wish everyone had more of that.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for that girl to just give me blind confidence.
Yeah.
That I don't think. I mean, by the way, my first whole year of stand-up, I did not know. I was just doing all the jokes like Angry Sanchez, or I didn't have comedy. I wasn't doing comedy.
Yeah, you had little segments, but
yeah,
you know that's.
And then Will Smith discovers me, and I'm like, so glad I did this. And then you move to LA, you get a TV show, and then
that's how it goes.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for not knowing about life.
And now you understand like the weird science behind comedy. You know the efficiency of words and all that.
Oh yeah. I get blown away. I get blown away sometimes by just that, like those little coincidences in life that send you on a path, and then you go, God, what if I hadn't done that?
When I did stand up, I learned, and I did it for about 10, 11 years, and I enjoyed it, but I knew it was actually radio that stepped in out of the blue and became a thing that I just loved because it allowed me to do comedy in a different way. But the refining and there's a joy in that with stand up and having things fail and having if you can have fun on stage regardless. Even if something's tanking and you're enjoying. Carson was an expert at having fun with tanking.
You got to be cool with the silence.
Right.
I went up one night in the store and I was just trying to write.
Yeah.
And I was bombing and then someone just goes. Talk about Anne Frank. in the audience. And then I go, I used to think Helen Keller and Anne Frank were the same person. Right. And it kills, right? Yeah. But I never knew. I didn't know that was funny. I thought I was an idiot. And then they laugh. And I was like, yeah, I found out the Anne Frank house, they're not. And everyone's like, what? I was like, yeah, you didn't. And I tell the story. And it's very simple. I thought, they were like, you want to go to the Anne Frank house? I was like, yeah, we'll get a bag of weed and get high and we'll laugh. And they're like, laugh? I go, yeah, put a plunger in her toilet, chuck it up. And they're like, what? And they're like, I don't think you can go to her bathroom. And they're like, you can see the closet they kept her. And I was like, they kept her in a closet?
Oh, dude.
I swear to God. And they're like, yeah, the Nazis are looking for her. I go, the Nazis? You're telling me. I go, how many times did this chick roll snake eyes? Can't see, can't hear, can't talk, locked in the closet. Nazis are looking for her. And so I tell this on stage. I get off stage and Rogan's like, please tell me that's in your act. I go, no. I was like dead serious. I go, I'm being dead serious. And he goes, that is the funniest thing. He goes, are you being serious right now? I go, I'm being dead serious. He goes, when did you find out they're not the same person? I go, at the Anne Frank house. We're high as crap. I'm telling Helen Keller jokes. And I'm like, she had a dog, right? And they're like, what? I was like, to my friends, I'm like, oh, he ran away. And they're like, how do you know so much about Anne Frank? I was like, well, you would too if her name was. And this lady goes, are you telling Helen Keller jokes? And I'm like, oh my God. So then I take that story, I tell it on Comedy Central with Ari Shaffir on This Is Not Happening, and then all of a sudden you got a bit. But if you're not willing to fail or get the clap, so if you have the clap right, I think what we're saying is, if you're listening and you have a venereal disease, this might be the best day of your life.
Look at it as a plus.
Success is just around the corner.
Success is just around the corner.
There's something you and your spouse you will never
don't discuss,
ever agree on, ever.
And that's not a hole in the relationship.
Right.
That's just smart. You just don't agree on some things. That's totally fine. If it's an agitation, there's an entire rest of your lives to live. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you know what, my wife and I don't
whether Hulk could beat Hulkbuster.
I don't think we'll ever agree on is which way the toilet paper goes on the roll.
Yeah.
And
or whether or not you should use it.
No. We both agree that you should use it, but I put toilet paper on the right way and she doesn't.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Top down?
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes over.
Does it matter? It does matter to you guys?
No.
You know what? Consider this. You're bowling it up and jamming it in your butt.
It comes off of the toilet paper roll easier.
There you go.
There you go.
Mr. Morrison.
Aesthetically.
By the way, did you guys see my notes in the bathroom this morning?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, is it still out of toilet paper?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that.
Dude, it was out of toilet paper yesterday.
Did you do that last week?
No.
Because someone had the courtesy to put up on the door.
Yeah.
out of TP, so I went to another bathroom.
Can you fill me in here?
I saw that. So we were out of toilet paper, and
In the men's room?
In the men's room. So this morning I went in there and I did my business. It was a flashback to Casey when you caught me with my pants down in there.
Did you have to move stalls?
I did. I moved over to the second stall, and Kathy was out in the second stall.
Did you have to use regular?
Fortunately, it wasn't so messy that I could pull my underwear
use your
up.
shirt.
And I walked in. I used my shirt.
No, so with the sink.
No, I got some paper towels.
gaskets.
Oh,
paper
okay.
towels.
You had to use paper towels?
Yeah, but I
wet them.
I moistened them, so it didn't rip.
The man played it right.
And so anyhow, so what I did after that is I happened to have my highlighter on me.
You put that in your butt?
No.
What is that?
I got 2 pieces of paper towel, and I wrote no PTP.
Yeah.
And set it over the toilet paper dispenser.
Awesome, because if you go in and you see that, and you don't want someone to replicate your horrible situation. Someone actually stuck a note on the door going in last week, and I appreciate them doing that.
Fortunately, everything was a clean movement this morning. It wasn't mushy.
It was like a good cellist, Preston, has a clean movement.
Yeah. So anyhow, not every argument has a resolution.
Exactly. Getting back to the core issue.
When you start to hit these sub-freezing temperatures, anything below 32 degrees, and then when you get down into teens and the freezing happens even faster, there's all kinds of things that you can do with the weather.
You can play with the weather.
You can play with the weather.
So one of the downside is, of course, the needless loss of life. The plus side is you can do stupid stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So we decided we'd try an experiment or two while we have these conditions.
So what's the boiling water thing?
It is very cool.
So here's what you do, and this is a few years ago. This little thing. Nick just pulled up a little bit of information about Wesley Willis, and in 1991, after befriending some musicians from Chicago's alternative rock scene, recording several solo albums, he formed the punk rock band called the Wesley Willis Fiasco, and the band developed a popular underground following, as well as attention from musicians such as Eddie Vedder, Henry Rollins, Jello Biafra, Mike D, and the members of White Zombie.
He was celebrated.
Yeah. He was. I believe he had schizophrenia and had some medical issues as well. He died at 40. I think he died of cancer.
Yeah.
Which was.
He was a character, man.
Yeah, definitely. That's it. He was a character of the Chicago music scene for sure. All right, I think it's time for the Bizarre File.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Zane Western Apparel and Work Gear on Route 40 in Piles Grove, New Jersey. Got all the top name brands, and you get them for less. Online at zanewestern.com. A Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania man was jailed on attempted homicide and related charges after firing a shot from a handgun during a confrontation over a pizza.
Over a pizza?
Yes. Police say they were called for the incident at Little Caesars. The pizzeria's manager and 2 juvenile employees were inside the business, and the suspect, 37-year-old William Pabon.
What am I talking about? I am talking about the need to eat pizza.
Was in the rear parking lot when he was taken into custody. Now, detectives determined that Pabon had called the business twice to complain about not receiving his order. He was argumentative and asked for the business's address. He allegedly then showed up, entered the business, and began arguing with the manager. At some point, he removed a handgun from his jacket.
This is my handgun pizza.
And while continuing to argue about not receiving his order, and approached the manager to gain access to the area behind the counter. The manager met Pabon at the access point between the employee and customer area. And then Pabon pointed the firearm towards the manager's lower body and fired one round from the gun. It struck the manager's shoe.
Wow.
So I'm thinking of Spider from Goodfellas. Yep. Causing damage to his shoe, but it actually missed his foot, believe it or not.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's great having tiny feet.
Pabon continued to yell at the manager and invite him outside to fight. The manager
My
refused,
shoe!
And Pabon left to get his vehicle parked in the rear of the business, and that's when the police showed up and they took him into custody. By the way, they found some brass knuckles on him and a 9mm handgun.
So he was up to no good.
Yeah.
But he loves his pizza.
He loves pizza. The suspect did not have a valid license to carry a concealed firearm, by the way. In Michigan, police say a Hazel Park High School parent is responsible for making a threat to blow up the school. Ryan Nicole Dunlap is facing a 20-year felony charge for falsely reporting a threat of terrorism after investigators say she wanted to get back at the school administrators for punishing her son.
You're so embarrassing.
She made the threat to someone on the school staff. The resource officer started investigating and spoke to the mother herself. She admitted that she did make the comment. And Dunlap's son was in trouble for allegedly making threats of his own, saying that he would, quote, take out 2 girls for talking to the school about something he posted on Instagram.
Such a hell of a family.
And it had to do with a threat towards other students. So the threat on Instagram led to a threat to other students, which led to a threat to blow up the school.
So is Daddy a lunatic too?
I don't know where Daddy is in this whole picture.
I'm in the basement.
So as a disciplinary issue, the school is dealing with and informing the mother of that, and that's when she got upset and got aggressive and made a threat to blow up the school.
In a way, though, at least it's a family doing things together.
She, by the way, is being held on $200,000 cash bond, and her son is being held at the Children's Village in light of the other incident. So it's a family activity.
It's a family affair.
Is what it is. A man is in custody in eastern Massachusetts and on Sunday night after authorities said he took a chainsaw to the local police station before fleeing and barricading himself in his home with his 2 young children. Probably not a good idea to go running through the police station with a running chainsaw.
They have guns there.
After SWAT officers made a tactical entry into the home, they located the suspect in his room above the garage. He resisted and was tased. His children, a girl and a boy, both younger than 5 years old, were found in another part of the house together and unharmed. They were reunited with their mother. The man had arrived at the police station around 2:30 in the afternoon that day and unsuccessfully attempted to cut through a security door with a gas chainsaw.
Right.
The civilian
They're built a little better than that.
The civilian clerk on duty at the time had barricaded herself and was able to hit a button summoning the officers to the front desk. The man then retreated to his home, roughly half a mile away from the police station. Hostage negotiators spent several hours attempting to speak to the man. It was not immediately clear.
Come out, you moron.
How successful. You're an idiot.
You are so stupid.
Yeah. Maybe that's finally what brought him out. You know what? They're right.
I'm on the wrong path.
They're right. An electric worker was flown to a hospital with severe injuries after he was attacked by a pack of 5 pit bulls while he was at work.
Oh, man.
Yeah, investigators said Ivan Bubba Rawls III, a lineman for Delta Electric, was finishing a service call when he was attacked. Rawls got stuck as he was finishing a call at a home, and when he got out of the truck, a neighbor's 5 pit bulls attacked him. Describing the attack as vicious, deputies said that neighbors heard Rawls scream and ran to help. Michael Ray Mabry, whose home Rawls had just finished working at, said he ran outside with a weapon and fired it into the air to scare the dogs. During the incident, 1 dog was killed. A second neighbor, a nurse, ran out to help Rawls until a first responder arrived. And the dog's owner, who was not in compliance with the county's pit bull ordinance, killed the remaining 4 dogs. So they were getting out of control. He had to take them out. The victim underwent several hours of surgery and is expected to make a full recovery. Investigators said charges are pending against the dog's owner. And then finally, we will end with this story. A lavender and chamomile scented aromatherapy spray contaminated with deadly bacteria that killed 2 people in 2021 also killed one of the victim's pet raccoons they found.
No!
The CDC said this on Friday.
Not the raccoon.
In October of last year, investigators at the CDC discovered the bacteria Burkholderia pseudomalia in the lavender and chamomile scent of Better Homes and Gardens essential oil-infused aromatherapy room spray with gemstones.
This smells wonderful. Tell me, does it kill raccoons?
Which had been imported from India and sold at 55 Walmart stores. The bacteria causes a rare illness called melioidosis.
What's the melio?
Which causes symptoms that can be confused with a flu or cold and is treatable with certain intravenous antibiotics if caught early. But several people got really, really sick.
That's one of the, we'll talk about a bait and switch. That would be a pleasant smell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so one of the properties where someone was infected by this actually was killed. The CDC traveled to the property to collect samples from a dead raccoon that they found. And it was the first animal linked to this particular outbreak. But they are warning people, and it's, since passed now.
Yeah.
But they had warned people to get rid of that. Obviously, this is literally killing people.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
That's what I have in the bizarre file for you.
The raccoon.
This morning. I can't believe it. And
raccoon.
With that, we'll take ourselves a break, and we will come back in a second. Well, the lesson question is up next, trash and music news. So stay close, and of course, we're going to get the letter of the day. Sarah's going to be in for Pierre, so we will have that coming up in a little while, too. Stay put. Be back in a moment.
Preston and Steve
On 93.3 WMMR.
Cue the jingle. Holiday activities.
Hey, it's Kathy Romano
Freezing.
from
If
the
you go
Preston
outside, Kathy, and you throw it up in the air, it turns into snow. Like immediately.
Like a boiling water and not cold water. Yeah,
because it gets out. I guess because of the heat shift. Can we get our physicists back on the line?
I don't know.
right?
I'm not sure. I didn't research it, to be honest, but there's a reason for it. So.
Yeah, and I watched a video the other day of a guy in Minnesota, and I think it was below zero where he was, and he had peed outside, and there was steam coming out.
Yes, that does happen.
Like just flat out.
In fact, maybe you'll have Nick take a dump and see what happens.
I don't know. Nick, you got one cooking?
Yeah, man. I'll do whatever you guys want.
Really?
Nick looks very uncomfortable. But Nick, do we have? Should we just right out of the gate do the hot water?
I'm going to take the lid off. Max, you're going to toss it. Try not to toss it in my face. Okay.
No, wait, Nick. Before you do it, I would step away from Callie and step away a further. Step out to the lot.
Yeah, all right. So Max is going to throw it into the lot, but I'll take the lid off because Max has both hands on the pot itself, boiling water. You guys ready?
Yeah, we're ready, man.
Makes sense.
All right,
Watch the video. Nick is going to give the description.
2, 1. Here we go. Took the lid off. Max tosses it in there. Oh my God! Now, not all of it turned into snow, but a decent amount of it did. Also, a decent amount immediately turned into steam.
And it's so windy that it went 50 yards away in the blink of an eye.
It was down the parking lot.
Though gone.
We did get instant snow. Yeah. But the wind is whipping so much that by the time Nick was done talking, it was already half a parking lot away.
It was gone.
Two things also happened. Max's foot was burnt, and the pot of water is now empty.
Oh.
Ooh. All right, so let's see Callie's hair now. I don't want her to weld to the.
Well, I don't know. I don't think they poured more water on it, Steve.
Well, we don't want her to freeze to the thing, right?
She's still not laying down.
At this point, I'll take it.
Well,
anything.
Yeah, I mean, her hair is frozen solid, guys.
All right.
It's not sticking up like we saw in some of those hot tub photos.
Yeah.
Where people, but I mean, like it's coated with hairspray and it is completely frozen solid.
All right, because she's got very thick hair, so to get that sucker to freeze up the way we want it to would be a lot of work. But you can see the tips; it looks like icicles.
Wow. Okay, so we've learned that water
freezes in cold.
Freezes in cold temperatures.
Yeah.
All right.
And that if someone's hair is wet with that same type of water, it will freeze in cold temperatures. Then we're looking at Callie here. I just don't want her to freeze to the. Make sure she moves a little bit.
Yeah, we can. How long has she been out there? Anybody know?
She's going to look like Wendy O. Williams. What was that?
About 5 minutes.
The punk rocker?
Yeah, about 5 minutes?
Yeah.
All right.
Can she move her head so we can see if it's frozen?
There we go.
Yeah, all right, we have frozen hair.
Yeah.
It's sticking straight out.
No, that's cool. We got it.
All right.
It actually looks like, what does that look? It looks like the when Maleficent turned the forest dead.
Yes. Oh, like all those branches.
Branches, yeah.
Yeah, it does look like that. Bill calling us?
Yeah.
Okay, Bill's calling us.
Bill's not wearing gloves.
Hang on, let me go to him.
Did he come in on his motorcycle?
No, he is. He just took one glove.
Why does he have a chafing dish?
There's no way he came in on his motorcycle. Bill Weston, Man About Town, are you there?
Good morning, my warm-feathered friend.
Hey, so first of all, what do you have in the crook of your arm there? Are those peppermints?
They're peppermints. And my wife went to Costco and got like the 30-gallon size.
Yeah.
Realized that she only needed a dozen for her candy dish. And she said, well, why don't you take the rest into work? I said, that's really economically wise.
All right, fair enough. And so what did you want to, you wanted to jump in on this frozen hair thing, I guess, huh?
Well, first I see an intern out here freezing her tail off and with no hat on.
Yeah.
You know, your mother always said, don't leave the house without your hat and gloves.
Yeah.
And zip up your coat. And so I said, I hope you get extra credit for your internship program for this. She says, no, there's no credit for this. So, Marissa, we need to have a little chat.
Well, Bill, can you just actually go over and just have her raise her head? Because I think her hair's probably properly frozen now.
Yeah, let's check on the hair.
Hold on just a second.
All right.
All right.
We just don't want her to freeze to this building.
Ooh, yes.
Got some nice,
All right, that's cool.
That's it.
She's good.
It's frozen solid.
Have her come in.
And it's rigid. It's sticking straight out.
Yeah.
All right, Bill, how long are your pubes?
Oh, Jesus.
I just, that's my second question. When Casey asked if they were gray.
Casey asked if they were gray.
Hey, Bill, you can tell her to come in, Bill.
Yeah, you guys can come in. We want to see this.
Hold on, Marissa has something. Marissa?
Just want to say this is Callie's last week, so this is like her last hurrah.
There you go. We love Callie.
Yeah.
Go.
All right.
Don't want to get me in trouble.
All right, Bill, you and Callie can come inside. A Volvo that was owned by David Bowie was auctioned off for approximately $218,000 in Switzerland. His Volvo 262C was one of the last of that line produced in 1981, and it was delivered to his Swiss home in June of that year. The car was initially registered under Bowie's own name, David Robert Jones, before transferring over to the record company Bellway Brothers.
This is the beginning of Philly Loves Bowie Week is today.
Can you do a commercial for the Chili Dogs place?
No, that was Cinderella.
Cinderella. Yeah. Pat's Chili Dogs.
Chili Dogs.
Ground control to chili dogs. Hi, I'm David Bowie with a passionate message about any fan who loves a good chili dog.
How'd you get Bowie to do this?
Well, he was in town.
Well, look who it is.
Yeah, hi. Bing, I'm here to tell you about the best chili dog I've ever had.
Sounds great. Do tell.
It's Pat's Chili Dogs.
How did they get him in the first place?
If you like a chili dog, bum.
Where is it?
I don't know. But anyhow, he definitely
like a good chili dog.
He definitely owned a Volvo, and that's.
Oh no, I've got chili all over my Volvo.
That's Chili Dogs. We Buy Gold place now.
Oh, is that what it is now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyhow, David Bowie.
Do you have extra gold you'd like to make some money off of?
All right, and then finally, what?
What?
Oh, there you go.
I am David Bowie. I just had an otherworldly experience. As Major Tom, I took you into space, but now it's time to explore your belly.
Okay.
Introducing my new character, Ziggy Chili Dog.
Did he have Diamond Dogs? Chili Dogs. Wasn't that what his album was? Diamond Dogs?
Was it?
This new one's called Chili Dogs.
How bizarre would it be just out of nowhere?
He just becomes enamored of chili dogs.
That he is all of a sudden he is a proponent of the chili dogs. Oh, this is Diamond Dogs, yeah.
Yeah, Diamond Dogs.
Yeah. Did you guys hear the news that Khloe Kardashian is pregnant? You may have heard that, right?
Yeah. She was on Ellen, right?
She made the announcement, of course, a little while back. She may be head over heels in love with her boyfriend, NBA star Tristan Thompson.
Yeah, head over heels.
But the revenge body star has no desire to get hitched anytime soon. She told Ellen DeGeneres in the first TV interview since announcing the pregnancy that we're not in any rush for that.
We're in no rush to get married.
She added, as you know, I've rushed quite a few things before.
And I've made some mistakes, and I regret those mistakes.
Referencing her marriage to Lamar Odom after knowing him for 30 days. I forgot
wow.
that's how quickly that happened, yeah.
It was just 30 days.
Oh, my God. Look at this picture.
Yeah.
She does look like a
It looks
giant.
it looks like a scene from Pacific Rim.
And
She's a
listen,
kaiju.
not fat.
No.
She's just a tall person.
I love you, Ellen.
Do they have her stats on Wiki, like how tall she is?
6'9".
So, Nick, type in how tall is...
I think she's 5'11".
But like, even in their
Khloe
family
Kardashian.
pictures, I don't think she's towering over the rest of them.
No, she's bigger.
And I don't know how tall...
because OJ's her father.
Ellen is either.
She's 5'10".
5'10".
There we
That
go.
would make Ellen like 3'11".
Yeah, because that's how tall my wife is. She's 5'10".
Yeah, that's not like
5'9", 5'10", somewhere in that range.
bare range.
But I think the other ones are just, everybody else is just tiny.
Tiny?
Yeah. So anyhow, as you know, she said I rush into quite a few things before. Right now, I'm so loving the place I'm in and very happy with how things are. We talk about it for sure. What's meant to be will be.
I just love spending time now foraging through garbage cans. It's really a zen thing for me. Ellen.
Kardashian adds that she knows her 26-year-old beau is a good dad after watching him parent his 1-year-old son, Prince, from a previous relationship.
Okay. That's the tip-off.
She said he's such a good dad. He's so gracious. Late, and I would have to do that to give you verification. I will ask them tonight when I see the crew at the Gabagool edition.
Where is that?
It's in Fishtown, I think is where it you know what? I have to check.
I wonder if Sammy Vile is related to Kurt Vile. Kurt Vile is a local musician who's done really well for himself. And yeah, I think they're brothers.
Okay.
Because Kurt, all right. So Sammy posted on his Instagram account. Sorry for doing this on air, but I'm thinking out loud. But yeah, Sammy posted on his Instagram account a picture of Weird Al with Kurt Vile. Kurt's a great musician, and Sammy's a really funny comedian. That's very cool.
Look at all the talent we have in this area.
Right? It's
great.
What the hell are we
Kurt's
doing here?
middle name is Sam. Samuel.
Really?
Kurt Samuel Vile.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
God. Are they the same person?
They can't be the same person, are they?
I don't know.
Are they the same person? No, there's a picture of two separate people that... No.
We can't have this.
Marissa, do you know? Can you
Two
help?
people.
Can you help? Are these two different people or the same person?
No idea, guys.
Thank you.
So Kurt
But
used
I
to
know
be in
he
War.
is friends with the guy who makes the Black Keys T-shirts.
All right, and Kurt used to be in War on Drugs, and I really like him a lot as a musician, and I think Sam is his brother.
There we
who's also
go.
a comedian, yes.
Okay. And
His brother,
and his
Sam
middle
Kurt
name
Vile.
happens to be Sam. What?
Right.
And then Sam's middle name is Kurt. So you got Kurt Samuel Vile and then Sam Kurt Vile.
Are you making that up?
I am making that up.
Okay, just checking, because right now I don't know anything about anything
No, be tie-tie.
in this conversation.
Do you know that we're going to eat pickles tonight, Preston?
Except that Nell is tie-tie.
My brother's name
I know, and it's interesting. I'm sorry about your brother's name, but
it was pertinent to the conversation.
Rochelle hates pickles, and she's my date tonight.
Oh, she is?
What? Yeah.
I thought you were going with
Carter. He didn't realize and made plans, and he's out of town.
There's
and
no plan that could
I know
surpass the 7 pickles.
But it's out of town, and so Rochelle's going tonight, and she doesn't like pickles, so it ought to be interesting. Your brother's name
is Joshua Matthew McElwain. His son is Matthew Joshua McElwain.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Just like Sam and Kurt.
Sam and Kurt the Viles.
Exact same thing. Okay.
Kurt's
I
from
didn't
Delco.
know your wife didn't like pickles.
Yeah.
It's not the kind of thing you blurt out.
I do. I don't like pickles. I blurt it out. This show does a lot of blurting.
pickles, and I can't get it up. What did I say those?
Wait, what?
No. She can tolerate them from time to time, but like especially on like a sandwich or a burger or something like that. No.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah.
I think she's going to be really excited tonight because it's not just like a dish with a pickle on top.
I explained it to her.
Yeah.
It could be a version of like pickled blueberries is featured or something like that. Yeah, it's not necessarily like a dill pickle in every dish.
But you owe her.
I do owe her.
By the way, it's at Mural City Cellars, which is a winery.
Okay.
And then they're doing a pop-up there.
Miller City.
Mural. City.
Mural. City.
Yeah.
It's Mural.
In Fishtown?
Kensington. So
Kensington.
close by.
Okay. All right.
Mural.
All right, we're all good. Let's do the lesson. Wait a minute.
Wait.
Sammy Val's on the phone.
There it is. Okay, here we go.
All right.
We can get all this cleared up. Sammy,
Yo,
how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Wonderful. Thanks for making that video, man.
Oh yeah, dude. The pickles were awesome, and they made me a little insane.
No, the video work is great, and the pickles are. People think that we are puffing them up and just embellishing. They're damn good pickles.
They're the best ones I've ever had.
Yeah,
they really are.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So, can you clear this up? Your brother is Kurt,
Yeah, I'm Kurt's one of Kurt's little brothers.
and is Kurt's middle name Sam?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're 1 of 10.
Wow.
And I guess they ran out of names, so they had to recycle them.
Yeah, I'm looking at you got Paul, Rachel, Sam, Madeline, Wes, Dorothy, Liz.
You like the Von Trapp fan, the sound of Vile.
Yeah, and are you guys
Yeah.
from Lansdowne?
Yes, yeah.
That's awesome.
So Kurt has this song that's called "Pretty Pimpin'," and it had some success a few years ago. It's a great tune. If you don't know Kurt Vile, look up his music, and if you don't know Sammy, look up his comedy on Instagram. But they're both great artists, and please give Kurt our best because he's a terrific local musician.
Oh yeah, totally. Can I put in one more thing?
Yeah.
So I actually won the Word of the Week last week.
What? No way.
On Friday.
Okay.
And I don't know if I gave the info wrong because I haven't heard anything.
Really? Are you kidding me? It's their prize.
What was the prize?
It was like a fire pit. Or
Yeah,
something.
the
Paizik.
Paizik round barbecue and fire pit.
Yeah, you want that. That is damn good.
Hold on. Marissa wants to contribute. Yes, Marissa?
Yeah, I just realized, Sam, that you emailed me on Saturday when we were off, which is exactly when our promotions department is off. So it might take a couple weeks for them to get back to you.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, but we have your information. We're good.
Yeah, he needs his fire pit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, man. No, I agree. This is when you want a fire pit in the cold weather.
Fire up those pickles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't think of that.
That's a good idea. All right, Sammy, thank you, man. We love the video. Appreciate the effort, brother.
All right, thanks. Love you guys.
All right, love you too. We'll see you later. That was cool. All right,
Talented, nice family.
Got that all cleared up.
Well, and Kurt
I love the Vile.
has a gig tonight. He's reuniting with the War on Drugs. We had the War on Drugs guy on a week or two
Adam,
ago.
yeah.
Adam, they're doing those shows at Johnny Brenda's, and Kurt is actually going to be playing with War on Drugs tonight at Johnny Brenda's.
This is not the best area to be around all these wonderful, talented people and pickles.
Absolutely.
It's unbelievable.
All these pickles.
Unbelievable.
All right. May I? Lesson question?
Yeah.
No one kiss you.
All right, so thank you. I'll kiss you too. All right. The lesson question prize is a Babylon prize pack, including a branded Bluetooth speaker. And it comes with a wireless charger and Fandango code. See the film Babylon. The question is not that. Where the hell is it?
What the hell?
What do I do with it? Hang on.
I don't know.
Oh, it's under
there. It is. Found
All
it.
right, question for you this morning is what kind of wild animal was in our lobby this morning? 215-263-WMMR. What kind of a wild animal was in our lobby this morning? If you know that answer, call right now, 215-263-WMMR, because you might win.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by Manhattan Bagel. Treat everyone on your list to a gift that's always in good taste. A gift card from Manhattan Bagel. Buy a $20 gift card and get it $5 free for a limited time at ManhattanBagel.com. ManhattanBagel.com. Participating locations only. What's going on, Steve?
Well, pro golfer Kyle Berkshire setting a new record by absolutely smashing a ball at over 235 miles per hour. However, the impressive record is bittersweet because he was putting. So that's
Oh, my God.
power. Alex Rodriguez made his relationship with new girlfriend Jace, I believe it is, Cordiero, Instagram official, with a post on Saturday. A-Rod posted a pic of Cordiero with the caption, "I never thought I could love again until I looked down your blouse."
Hey!
And finally, Nick Cannon revealing in a recent interview that his biggest regret is not being able to spend time with all of his kids. Cannon says he does find comfort in knowing that whenever he is anywhere in a crowd, he's probably near one of them. That's your Hollywood.
All right, let's see if we can get an answer. We're looking for someone to tell us what kind of wild animal was in our lobby this morning, 215-263-WMMR. And let's go to an appropriately holiday named Holly on the show this morning. Hey, Holly, good morning.
Good morning, Ed.
Good morning, Ed.
Good
All right,
morning.
Holly, what kind of animal was in our lobby this morning?
My favorite animal that I want for Christmas. It was a hippopotamus.
Yes!
We haven't played that.
Well done, Holly. Hang on a second. We're going to give you a Babylon prize pack, including a branded Bluetooth speaker and a wireless charger and Fandango code to see the film. Babylon is an original epic set in the 1920s Los Angeles, led by Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, and Diego Calva. And it hits theaters on Friday, by the way. All right, time to get to... No, not that. This.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Brought to you this morning by Halcyon Floats. You can give the gift of relaxation with a float session at Halcyon Floats, Philadelphia's premier float center.
Yeah.
Float stress and pains away with the deepest level of inner peace and relaxation there is. HalcyonFloats.com. Relax, recover, reset. By the way, that's a great, unique gift
It
idea.
is.
We were talking about stuff earlier this morning, unique gifts. All right, Greta Van Fleet says that the band is almost finished with their next album. In an interview with Heavy Consequence over the weekend, drummer Danny Wagner said, "We are wrapping it up as we speak. It's nearing completion, and we're excited about it." Bassist Sam Kieska described it as conceptually going back to almost the days in the garage with the raw energy of the sound, but expanding on that because we're the best musicians we've ever been. When released, it will become Greta Van Fleet's third full studio album. Travis Barker surprised fans with a video from the studio playing his part on a song called Anthem Part 3. Blink-182 fans were posting their excitement that Blink was back in the studio. The first Anthem was released in 1999, and Anthem Part 2 was released in 2001. In October, Tom DeLonge had confirmed that he was returning to the group, but now they had not revealed what they were working on. However, DeLonge said that the band was working on what he called the best album of our career. They'll kick off a nearly year-long world tour in March with stops in Australia, New Zealand, London, and Manchester. Shirley Watts, whose marriage to Rolling Stones drummer Charlie Watts was one of rock and roll's most enduring love stories, passed away on Friday after a short illness. She was 84 years old.
Wow.
Her family, including her daughter, Serafina, and granddaughter, Charlotte, announced her death on Monday in a statement shared with Variety. Shirley and Charlie, by the way, were married from 1964.
That's amazing.
Until the rocker's death in August 2021 at age 80. Yep.
Just even outside of the realm of a rock star, just in general, that's amazing.
But the fact, a Rolling Stone. Yeah. He had said in an interview, he had said, she's an incredible woman. Charlie had said this. The one regret I have of this life is that I was never home enough. But she always says when I come off tour that I am a nightmare and tells me to go back out on the road. Shirley
That's how they kept it going.
Remembered in a tribute shared by Charlie's longtime bandmate Ronnie Wood, who wrote that he and his wife Sally were very sad to hear about the death of our great friend Charlie Watts. Born Shirley Ann Shepherd in London, she and Charlie first met in the early 1960s after she dropped in on a rehearsal for Alexis Corner's band with classmates from art school where she was studying. They were soon married, and Shirley often joined her husband on tour with Stones. But that's one that lasted.
Can you imagine?
Meanwhile, he sat back and watched Mick go through 1,000 women a day.
I'm banging your daughter.
Yeah, and then but he continued on. That's really sweet that they went the distance like that. For the third year, and we have a clip of this, Dave Grohl celebrated Hanukkah by teaming up with a friend and producer, Greg Kurstin, to cover songs made famous by Jewish artists. Yesterday, we played the classic Blood, Sweat, and Tears song, Spinning Wheel. By the way, on that was Judd Apatow singing lead.
Did not know that.
Yeah, if you could pull that back up, Case, from yesterday.
Okay. Yep.
And it's Judd Apatow. And I want to play a little bit of that for you because we heard a clip yesterday and did not know that. Here we go.
What goes up must come down. Spinning wheel, got to go round. Talk about your trouble, it's a crying sin. Ride the painted pony, let the spinning wheel spin.
Judd had said after the song, Dave, I know you do 5-hour concerts, but that's all I can do. I need a month off now.
Yeah.
So now there's a new one that he did with Pink.
Yes.
And they do get the party started, right?
Get the party started.
All right, so let's hear a little. I've not heard this yet. Here we go. Who is she telling not to sing?
So we're looking at the video, and I was trying to determine that earlier just off the audio file. I didn't see an explanation, but yeah, she's great.
Yeah, and I like that song.
So do I.
It's
guilty pleasure.
I still like that tune. But they've only revealed just a couple of songs. They're going to do them each day, but other performers will include Violet Grohl, Beck, Jack Black, Karen O, and Kyle Gass.
So today's the fourth day?
Today's the third day, I think.
Yeah, today would be, because
Of
yesterday
Hanukkah?
was day 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the upcoming Jane's Addiction album will have limited participation from Dave Navarro, who has been battling long COVID. Apparently, it's kicking his ass pretty good. During a chat, Perry Farrell touched on the upcoming studio dates, mentioning possible contributions from Queens of the Stone Age, Troy Van Leeuwen, ex-Red Hot Chili Peppers, Josh Klinghoffer, and Bauhaus's Daniel Ash. He said, I don't know who will end up recording the guitar tracks, but I'd love to see Dave, Troy, Josh, and Daniel contribute, all the guys on the tour that really stuck it out. On Jane's recent tour with Smashing Pumpkins, Navarro was replaced by Troy Van Leeuwen, who, in addition, Queens of the Stone Age is also renowned for his work with Failure and Eagles of Death Metal. Both Klinghoffer and Ash also made cameos during the recent run. And then finally, Steve sent me this story, and it's unfortunately about somebody who passed away. It's also about somebody who I was not familiar with.
Neither was I.
And apparently had a tremendous amount of influence in the world of rock and roll. Charlie Gracie was 86 years old, and from Delco, by the way, Casey, or he was most recently living in Delaware County. South Philadelphia singer and guitarist whose 1950s hits made him an international star. His music had a major impact on the Beatles and many other British acts of the 1960s. He passed away in Alden, Delaware County. And he had been ill with a series of complications since contracting COVID after playing his final 2 shows in Wilkes-Barre and Long Island in April.
Got a concussion in Alden once.
Charlie Gracie was Philadelphia's first native son rock and roll star. Though he was never as well known as peers like Elvis Presley and Little Richard, he recorded as early as 1951 and scored 2 rockabilly hits in 1957 that ranked him as among the last surviving first-generation rock heroes. His song Butterfly, written by Bernie Lowe and Cal Mann, topped the Billboard charts and became the first #1 hit for Cameo Records. That was the label that would later produce Bobby Rydell and Chubba Checker.
Yeah.
Cameo's second #1 hit was called Fabulous, which found Mr. Gracie a lifelong audience in the United Kingdom, where he was among the first American rock acts to tour after the song, written by Harold Land and Mann, reached #8 on the British charts. A 15-year-old Paul McCartney saw Mr. Gracie perform in England, and he recorded Fabulous on his 1999 album Run Devil Run. Mr. Gracie's 2014 memoir, Rock and Roll's Hidden Giant, written with John A. Jackson, has a McCartney quote on the cover. It says, "When we were starting out with the Beatles, the music coming over from America was magical to us, and one of the artists who epitomized this magic was Charlie Gracie."
Wow. So that's like finding a gem you didn't know existed.
Yeah.
Man, he followed us on Twitter.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I just
MMR or the Preston and Steve Show?
The Preston and Steve Show. His Twitter handle was Philly Rocker 1.
Would love to have had him on.
Yeah, you know.
I had no
that's
idea.
A shame.
Listen, if you're somebody famous and you think you're going to die eventually.
Oh, stop it. By the way, Graham Nash also saw Mr. Gracie when he was 15. He said, when you want to know the history of rockabilly and rock and roll, one has to go back to the beginning of the music that changed our lives. Charlie Gracie was there at the start.
Wow.
He told the story of his sister saving a cigarette butt that Mr. Gracie tossed after a show in Manchester, England in 1957. He said she still has it.
Wow.
Right?
That's at the beginning of the beginning.
He grew up in a Pierce Street row house in South Philadelphia.
And Press, real quick, there's that last sentence on your paper, because that's something we just learned last week.
Yeah, his dad worked for the Stetson Hat Company.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that. So, well, that's sad news. 86 years old, and I wish I would have known about it sooner.
Absolutely. I'm glad we got to do a little tribute.
Yeah, yep. All right. And that is what I have in music news for you. We're going to break. We're going to come back in a second. We wrap up the program. When we return, we'll get to that letter of the day for the Word of the Week prize. So hang in there.
Preston and Steve. All 93.3 WMMR.
And it's moved on.
He's a great dad.
He's fathering another one over here. And
did he bring Khloe to the birth, Preston? Did you say that?
That's a good question.
Exemplary
To the first
dad,
baby? Yeah.
Sweetie, I'd like you to meet my girlfriend.
How long is her gestation period? Do we know?
I don't know, because
2 years.
There's a hibernation thing, right?
You guys are mean.
The one thing is that the baby can immediately forage for itself when it comes out.
There is a picture here of the 4 girls, and she is significantly taller.
Significantly.
I'm a little bigger.
And you know they're wearing heels, Kathy.
Yeah.
When she gets into her laughing fits, man, watch
Can't
out.
stop. It's a runaway train. Her gynecologist actually zip lines in. It's crazy. Okay, everything looks pretty good. Is that a stalagmite? What is that? Oh my God. One-eyed Willie.
Chester Copperpot.
There's an entire pirate ship in here. Hey, you remember when we fought that octopus? Oh, that was in the edited scene.
Yeah, they took that out of the movie.
By the way,
the Gooeys instead of the Goonies.
she's really pretty.
She has.
She's yes.
She doesn't look anything like she used to look. My assistant. Come on over here, man.
Hey,
Look
Sloth,
at this.
come here.
Look at this. Navajo cave etchings.
Then when they have to do the look around the back end.
Goonies taking place inside Khloe Kardashian. Quickly, hide in the fallopian tubes. I'll use my chattering teeth to pull us up.
Oh, God. All right, so anyhow.
Okay.
They'll name the boy, if it's a boy, Tristan Jr.
Okay, cute.
Just to let you know. Here's another bit of trivia for National Trivia Day. Long before rap battles, there was flighting, the exchange of witty, insulting verses. The verbal throwdowns were popular in England and Scotland from the 5th to 16th centuries. So it was kind of like, your mama jokes, I guess, going back and forth. But back in the 5th to 16th
Your mater
centuries.
gives handies to the house staff.
Your mater.
Your mater. Your mater inhales snuff through her buttocks.
Burn.
Got you.
Dude, you know what that made me think of? Is we talked about knock-knock jokes being a big thing in the 1930s and 40s.
Yeah.
And you were FDR.
He was trying to
doing a knock-knock. Who's that? Your mother manually stimulates migrant workers. Oh my God! Yeah, so they it was called flighting.
Yeah, flighting,
and they would jab do little jabs at each other.
Your mater is so corpulent when she sits around the house, the spire sticks in her rectum. Snap!
Oh snap!
Snap!
Oh my God! All right, so that's what they used to do apparently. So that's been going on for a long time.
I think we talked about this one time. The history of humor and what makes us want to laugh and makes us want to make others laugh, and it goes back. A lot of times, the basis of everything is in insults.
I felt like an idiot yesterday because my 8-year-old daughter got me with a little bit of a joke.
Did she?
Yeah, can I get you with it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, righty. Steve, would you remember me in an hour?
Yes.
Steve, would you remember me in a day?
Yes.
Steve, would you remember me in a month?
Yes.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
I thought you said you would remember.
Snap!
I was like, how did I fall for that?
My daughter got me one yesterday too, which was what do you call a suspicious noodle?
What?
An impasta.
I was like, spaghetti?
All right.
It's like beef stroganoff.
Yeah.
Why?
You heard of jerking cattle?
Beef stroganoff. Mm-hmm. Or did you hear about the peanut walking through the park? It was assaulted. I mean, they're so stupid.
I know, and they're great.
Yeah.
I don't even necessarily know how to verbalize the feeling that I have inside when I see like lame Eagles chants and people making up their own lame Eagles fight songs and lame quote unquote pep rallies.
As you were,
like forced pep rallies.
Forced pep rallies.
Forced pep rallies. All right, here's one. Yeah, and these I love the outfit and I love the zeal for it.
Can you describe it, please, for those who are listening to the radio?
So it is an older couple. Married couple that has made up, and they're dancing. They're wearing Eagles gear. She's got a cool little Eagles tinsel wig on, and Steve,
Yeah.
I know you love
I'm
tinsel.
a huge fan of tinsel.
Right.
And they're making up their own Eagles song.
So you hate this elderly couple because they've made up their own Eagles song?
I think it's a lame song.
So what? They're having fun.
You know what? And you're right. They are having fun.
Here, Marissa, pull the audio. She heard us talking about this in the break, so she pulled up the audio. I haven't heard this. I've just seen this video footage that we're watching right now. So here we go. This is them and their Casey says, lame Eagles fight song.
Fly all the way up. Fly all the way up. Fly all the way up.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Eagles, do your thing. We need a Super Bowl ring. Fly all the way up.
Yeah.
Fly all the way up.
Yeah.
Fly all the way up.
Get behind this, right?
Fly all the way up.
I agree with you, Kathy. Yes, they're having fun.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles.
I love it. I love the genuine zeal, the energy. What you don't know is that this woman is an Army veteran who donates her time on the... No, I don't know what the story is. They're having a great time.
Yes.
I was trying to run a CSI diagnosis or analysis of, I think, what... These are clearly long-time Eagles fans.
They're really happy.
Really entrenched in it. Are you more pissed off about what you perceive to be bandwagon jumpers? Okay, then I'm at a loss.
I just don't. Why do you have to make this lame song? We have a good song.
But they're not.
They're having fun. They're a couple. They're having
you know
fun.
what, Kathy? I'm with you. I am.
Listen, they're not out performing it somewhere.
Fly all the way up. Well, yes, they are. And now it's on my Twitter feed.
Let me ask
no
you
control.
something. In defense, and Kathy, I know you're going to back me up on this. What do Eagles do?
They fly all the way up.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And then they also swoop down and
wait,
listen.
I love his participation. Where there's like one time where he's like,
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I don't think they're trying to rewrite the Eagles fight song. They're just having some fun.
I listen, and I know because I bought the stinking dog mask. And anybody that wants to criticize the dog mask craze, I say, shut up. We're just having fun. You know what I mean?
You're contradicting yourself here.
Contradicting myself.
He's admitting the hypocrisy here.
Yeah.
So you're saying on a completely visceral level, and you don't understand it.
Right.
Is it all just based on the fact that you think this song sucks?
Yeah, I think.
When I think it's brilliant.
Well, all right. So I think I'm mad about the song because it was presented to me, and I believe it was presented to me on Twitter. Like, dude, this is great.
What do you mean? It was posted.
No, yeah, but it was somebody sent it to me.
Oh.
So somebody added me, and they're like,
as in-
"This is great," and I was expecting it to be like this awesome song, and then I click on it, I'm like, oh,
that's not their fault. It's the person who sent it to you.
I think what they meant by this is great is look at this older couple having fun. That's probably what it means.
Fly all the way up.
Yeah.
Fly all the way up.
Did you see
Weezer. 10:42, and it happens to be a Tuesday morning coming to a close for us. And Tuesdays mean Tad Tuesdays. Can I do that now? Can we get it? Yeah, all right. We would like to take this moment and congratulate Kenneth Fetsurka. Is that what you think that says?
Probably.
Fetsurka?
Yeah, that looks good.
All right. Kenneth Fetsurka is from the Great Northeast, and we're going to set Kenneth up with a $350 gift certificate.
Nice.
To Floating World Tattoo and Piercing. And Tattoo Tuesday on the President Steve Show is presented by Floating World Tattoo and Piercing. They're located at 1729 South Street in Philadelphia. For artwork samples, visit floatingworldtattoos.com or check them out on Instagram at Floating World Tattoos. How many tattoos do you have, Sarah?
0, believe it or
You
not.
don't have any?
But I love tattoo culture, and I go to the tattoo convention when it comes through town every chance I get. I love the arts. I have several piercings, but no, I think it's the commitment thing.
Okay.
You know, but someone pointed out to me, if you have a second idea for a tattoo, maybe just get another tattoo.
Right.
So maybe I'll do that one day. I don't know. But I'm big on Sailor Jerry, the American traditional style. Yeah, he's got several.
Yeah.
Who does?
A Batman one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't. Yeah, and once the bug gets you, it bites you pretty hard, from what I understand, and you can head down the rabbit hole.
And it's an expensive hobby as well.
Yeah,
so there's
definitely.
that.
All right. Well, how you doing today?
Doing well.
Excellent.
Good citizen.
We're going to get another letter in a second. Real quick, I forgot to thank Tom Papa. On the show this morning, new Netflix special called What a Day. He's great. Make sure you check that out. We love Tom Papa. So, letter of the day. Want to do that?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
And the Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter
A, as in absolutely.
All right, we have 2 letters. Remember, only 4 letters this week because we are off on Friday. So we'll give away the $500 Amazon gift card, courtesy of Blue Man Group, which is coming to the Miller Theater from December 27th to December 31st. And if you want to get tickets and information, just visit kimmelculturalcampus.org. All right, so you got a Tuesday. What you going to do with it?
Well, it's Double Shot Tuesday, so make sure you send your request to 39333. Text them over or call 215-263-WMMR for the You Call It's. Workforce blocks at noon. I've got Bob Marley, The Pretty Reckless, and another holiday-themed block. And I've got more Government Mule tickets to give away. They're coming to the Met next Thursday, and more copies of that Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers live at the Fillmore to give out all before 3 o'clock.
Very cool. And Pierre back tomorrow. So this is your last day with Sarah this week.
Yes. Are you guys ready for that Christmas miracle?
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like Pierre's.
Yeah. Yeah, we're set. We had a little meeting yesterday, and we'll see how it goes.
It's so great to see people, and people have been supporting us, and they sort of stand in for everyone who's been with us along this time. And maybe next year, if you didn't get in on this particular Christmas miracle, maybe next year.
I've never been to the actual event, but it is one of my favorite shows of yours to listen to all year because it tests my own knowledge. You can play along. It's great, so I can't wait.
Nice. All right. Thanks, Sarah. And I want to thank our sponsors, too. Preston and Steve Show brought to you today by Dunkin'. The Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Also brought to you by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors, and by iloveexcitement.com. So, yeah, Sarah said it. Tomorrow is the Christmas Miracle broadcast. Lots of listeners, lots of fun, maybe some guests. We'll see how that all plays out. Live music, all this stuff taking place. So make sure you tune in and play along with us. That's it. We're done. Rage on. Have yourself a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, gang. Bye-bye.